Search for a man on the run continues. And how would you feel knowing that your child's teacher could soon be able to carry a gun inside the classroom? Coming up, we're going to hear from community members and concerned parents as the debate about how to keep our children safe continues on.
And there's rain on the radar right now. We'll track it through Middle Tennessee and then take a look ahead to some big changes for the upcoming weekend in your forecast.
Thank you, Greg, and thank you for joining us here on Fox 17 News this morning, just after 4 a.m. here on this Wednesday. I'm Justin McFarland. We do begin this morning with a story that we've been following since yesterday afternoon. Metro Police say that the body found along I-24, this is going to be north and west of town, is the man reported missing by his sister. Take a look at your screen. Police say that this man right here, his name is Terrence Williams. They say that his sister was talking to him on the phone just last week when he abruptly hung up while walking to get some help after his car broke down. Officers found his body yesterday on I-24 very close to Briley Parkway. Again, this is north and west of town. Police believe, or at least his sister believes, that he could have been the victim of a hit and run. The investigation in this case is ongoing. Well, we are following breaking news this morning as well as the Metro Police Dispatch is confirming that a fire broke out in an apartment complex in the Glengarry neighborhood. Fox 17 News. Karen Aguilar is live for us this morning. This is over close to Donaldson, close to the Nashville International Airport. Karen, what can you tell us?
Well, a few moments ago, I just spoke to the fire chief who tells me that the fire happened around midnight tonight, and it happened somewhere behind me. We're working to identify what units were affected, but he tells me that it was at least 4. So just for some perspective, this is the middle of the night. A fire breaks out and you have to get out of your home. These people just can't go back inside, and it's raining. They have to find a place to stay. So this is a very significant situation that we're dealing with right here. Now, the scene is clear, but what we do know is that there is no one was hurt, luckily, and that investigators were already on scene and they are determining the cause of the fire. At this time, we tried to speak to some neighbors, but we haven't been able to get anyone. It's very early, as I said, and the people that were in those apartments had to evacuate. So if we're able to talk to them, we will bring those interviews to you. Reporting live, Karen Aguilar, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
All right, thank you so much. Well, in Operation Crime and Justice, one man is behind bars this morning after police say he shot his ex-girlfriend's new boyfriend. Metro Police say that Deontay Thompson was out on probation when he broke into an apartment and shot the victim in the foot. They say the two men fought over the gun before Thompson fled the scene. Thompson was booked on 10 outstanding warrants and is now also facing weapons charges.
The only reason he's dead is because a murderer was out on bond.
Well, Tennessee state lawmakers and local advocates are calling for change this morning. The Metro Police Department say a repeat offender is on the run after killing a man in Midtown this weekend. Police say the suspect is Adrian Cameron Jr. He's 19 years old. He was out on bond and wearing an ankle monitor while awaiting trial for a 2021 murder. This information has some people very upset, as well as advocates and lawmakers, as now they are trying to ask the question about why this keeps happening.
Put on a leg monitor or an ankle monitor on them, and somehow you think that's going to take them out of their normal, which is violence and chaos.
It's unacceptable. We are failing the public. Government is failing the public in this regard, and we have to do better.
That is Representative John Gillespie, who says he has a few bills working their way through the legislature, including stricter pre-trial monitoring. The DA's office says they have now filed a motion to revoke Cameron's bond. If you have any information about where he may be, you're asked to contact Crime Stoppers. Let's get to Greg. He's got the latest on your forecast.
Waking up here with some raindrops coming down outside. Hopefully you're indoors long enough to where they'll pass by you, but the last couple of hours, broken rain has moved. And what I mean by that is just little pop-up showers that are trying to stay to an attached line that has just been fizzling out. Here's your real-time radar. Most of the activity in Nashville is exiting as we speak and will be good for the rest of the day. Once the showers get into your neighborhood and they leave, you don't have much behind them to worry about. So areas like Franklin, Thompson Station, Leapers Fork, up through Brentwood, Oak Hill. Rain right now, give it a half hour, you're basically done for the morning. So that means by the time we're trying to get out the door here in a couple hours, wet pavement, yeah, that'll be there. That's just about it. Murfreesboro, you're starting to work into a little bit of a shower that will continue down to the south and the east, and you get out toward Alvaton, you get up toward some areas out, even Cookeville, going to be seeing a little bit of rain here soon. Carthage seeing some rain, Lebanon, Gallatin. Here's one area that I'm not concerned about anymore. If you're in the circle right now, the odds of seeing any more additional rainfall other than maybe a quick little 5-second splash of some rain here, pretty good. So Hoptown down through Clarksville and even our westernmost counties, we're just about done. No big deal here, but just again, some showers that are coming down as we speak. What's the big weather story coming up? Showers moving out back to the 80s sooner than later, not today, but soon. And then we'll talk weekend rain. Are we going to find any, or have things looked even better than they did yesterday?
Steering clear traffic for you this morning at 4:06. Quick look outside. Let's go to I-40 at Donaldson Pike. As you can see, traffic out there moving along really nicely. No big problems out there in the Donaldson area close to BNA. But if things do pick up, we'll be sure to let you know. We got you covered with steering clear traffic live and local with you through 9. The right to bail is one of the foundations of our justice system. Well, right now, Tennessee judges can only deny bail on capital murder cases, but it may not last much longer. We've got new details as the state Senate approved a resolution that would give judges expanded discretion to deny that bail.
It just hits home. I have a nephew who's also autistic, so it's a personal connection for me.
After more than a month of searching, the community is still remaining hopeful that Sebastian Rogers, the 15-year-old...
Orders of protection filed by each of you, is that correct?
That is correct.
I did it first.
I don't care who did it first.
Judge Judy. Tomorrow at 4 on Fox 17.
We love you and we miss you and we want you to come home. And just know that we all care about you so much.
I just think as a community, we're all concerned.
Fox 17 News continues to track the search for Sebastian Rogers since he disappeared from his home there in Sumner County about 2 months ago. This morning, Beach High School students are leading an effort to try and keep the search for their missing classmate going. They're asking everyone to support their efforts by wearing green. That is Sebastian's favorite color. His father launched an online petition urging the FBI to take over this investigation. In the meantime, the Sumner County Sheriff's Office says they are not giving up the search. Now, if you want to volunteer, you can go to our website and click on this story to sign up. You can also see all of our previous reporting on the Sebastian Rogers case. He is the missing 15-year-old with autism there in Sumner County. You want to go to fox17.com and search Sebastian. News from the State House this morning. There is a bill to ban certain types of flags in Tennessee classrooms. Well, that bill has now died in the state Senate. Critics say it targeted the pride flag in particular and allowed several other exemptions that would have violated the First Amendment. Others argued that there needs to be a limit to what can and cannot be hung in the classroom. Now, the bill failed in a Senate committee, 13 votes to 6. Tennessee lawmakers voted to amend part of the Constitution that's been on the books since 1796. That was the year the state was founded. It would give Tennessee judges wider discretion to keep people accused of serious crimes in jail until their trial begins. Now, those offenses include things like second-degree murder and terrorism. Right now, judges can only deny bail in capital murder cases. The House passed the resolution after some spirited debate.
If it was the answer, that provision would not have remained intact since 1796.
You know who doesn't become a repeat offender? The one that stays in prison. those people can't reoffend.
The state Senate has already passed this bill. Amending the Constitution, by the way, requires not only passage this session, but the next session as well. If that happens, the whole thing would go to a ballot for a public vote in 2026.
Coming up, waking up to some showers on the radar here this morning, tracking when this moves out, and then a new outlook for your weekend. I have changed.
How do they get these things to smell so good?
Hefty, hefty. Hefty, hefty, hefty.
Must be magic. Hefty Ultra Strong with Fabuloso scent.
4:14 is the time. Live look this morning from Washington, D.C. That is the dome of the United States Capitol building there. Later today, the President of the United States, Joe Biden, is scheduled to deliver 2 commencement speeches. This is going to happen in the month of May. The White House says in that speech in front of the United States Military Academy, this will happen at West Point. The president will thank graduates for defending the nation. President Biden will also appear at Morehouse College. That is a historically black college university down in Atlanta, Georgia. That is where Martin Luther King, by the way, went to college. He will be speaking for commencement there as well. Continuing coverage on former President Trump's hush money trial in Manhattan. This is where prosecutors are now laying the groundwork for their case. Fox 17 News' Christine Fazal takes a look at what we learned from the very first witness.
We have a gag order, which to me is totally unconstitutional. I'm not allowed to talk, but people are allowed to talk about me.
A dramatic morning in the courtroom as Donald Trump's attorney was repeatedly scolded by the judge over his client's refusal to abide by a gag order, prohibiting him from attacking witnesses and jurors. With posts like this, they are catching undercover liberal activists lying to the judge in order to get on the Trump jury. One of several violations leading the judge to tell Trump's lawyer Todd Blanche, "You're losing all credibility with the court." The key testimony on day 2 came from David Pecker, former publisher of the National Enquirer. An August 2015 meeting at Trump Tower between Donald Trump, Michael Cohen, and David Pecker, central to questions from the prosecution. Pecker said he was asked about what he and his magazines could do to, quote, help the campaign. Pecker describing himself as the architect of Catch and Kill, which he asked be kept very confidential, as they bought and suppressed negative information from women selling stories, instead running multiple negative headlines about Trump's opponents, some displayed in the courtroom as examples.
What he's testifying to is kind of an ugly side of politics and trying to influence voters through work in the media or work in the refs. He did not have any testimony, about the internal bookkeeping, which is the heart of the criminal case.
Former U.S. Attorney John Fishwick calls Pecker a perfect first witness for prosecutors, a longtime loyal friend of Donald Trump who can set the table for the jury and start to build the story they plan to tell.
The case is a sham.
As Trump and his team are expected to tell theirs, a political candidate playing politics as usual.
The Trump legal team, will stick with their line, which I think will be a good line for him. This is nothing illegal. This is politics as usual. He's doing nothing that is different from any other political campaign.
For the duration of this trial, court will not be in session on Wednesdays. David Pecker is expected to return to the stand to take questions on Thursday. In Washington, I'm Christine Frazau.
Well, it is confirmed the United States Senate has approved a $95 billion foreign aid package for Ukraine, Israel, and Taiwan. The final vote on that was 79-18. The legislation now heads to the desk of President Biden for his signature. The president says he will be signing this into law later today. Also moving forward, the Senate has passed legislation that could lead to the potential ban of a popular video sharing app. And to say it's popular is understating it. We're talking about TikTok. Lawmakers have long gone against this company, saying that it gives the Chinese government potential access to personal data of millions of Americans. Listen now, around 170 million Americans use this app. TikTok has threatened to go to court if the president does sign the bill. We'll see. For right now, let's get to your forecast. Greg Bob is standing by. A few passing showers, depending on where you are.
Yeah, and nothing big. I mean, I saw some raindrops coming in, hit the windshield for a good 10, 15 minutes. Then they were done, and we were pretty much done. So once they move in, they quickly move out, and that's it. So a really easy morning to start with, but there will be a few areas of some passing showers, but then also some patchy fog will move in after that. So keep that in mind. About an hour after the rain ends, some fog will move into your area. No dense fog advisories or anything of that sort, but definitely could be some limited visibility here leading closer to sunrise. Taking a look, all of this in the Portland, Gallatin, and Nashville area now. Light sprinkles and radar clutter. The showers that we're seeing in this broken line go from the Cookeville area down through Murfreesboro, Columbia, and they are very light and they're very quick moving, honestly. They'll be in and out of this entire area, all of Middle Tennessee, in about the next, I'd say 2 to 3 hours, and then we're done. Temperature change compared to yesterday morning. We don't need the heavier coats. We don't need any winter gear for the next 7 to 10 days, and hopefully for the rest of the season. Taking a look, we're 17 degrees warmer than the same time yesterday morning in Nashville. 20 in Murfreesboro. We're 25 degrees warmer in Tullahoma. Look at what we're sitting to wake up to. 58 right now. Again, rain ending in Nashville as we speak, and then once it's done, watch out for a little fog. Current temps, though, are in the upper 50s to low 60s across the board. Where do we go this afternoon? Very similar to yesterday. This morning, cloud cover will slowly decrease throughout the afternoon, but the fact that the first half of the day is going to be fairly cloudy with that wet pavement already out there, only going to 76. Still a nice day. Tomorrow, nearly perfect, partly cloudy and 75. A few scattered showers on Friday. We'll time those out for you coming up in the forecast. And then my new thoughts in the upcoming weekend. That's coming your way before we even get to 4:30.
Steer clear traffic out there for you. Let's get you to I-40. This is at Fessler's Lane. We had a major crash there overnight that was really holding things up. They have since cleared that crash, so no more problems coming in there from that particular side of town. Thankful to see that. If something does change, we'll be sure to let you know. We got you covered live and local through 9. Well, new from Smoky Barn News, according to the Millersville Police Department, the former Millersville mayor, Tim Lassiter, has now been arrested. Now, police say that Lassiter was picked up at his home last night. He is now charged with 2 counts of document fraud. He stepped down as mayor in Millersville back in 2022 after 10 years in that position. Meantime, in Mount Juliet, we've got news from their Twitter page there. A traffic stop for a seatbelt violation took an unexpected turn. They say during that stop, the officer noticed that a 16-year-old was wearing a ski mask rolled up on top of his head. When they asked him to step out of the vehicle, the officer says the teen was armed with a handgun and an extended magazine. The teen was arrested and placed in the juvenile detention facility there in Wilson County. The department is now commending the officers for their dedication and their vigilance. Receiving the honor they deserve, the remains of multiple World War II veterans have finally been laid to rest. We've got the details on the discovery.
Folks, brand new state-of-the-art facility, 3 times the inventory, right off I-40, exit 236, 1780 Franklin Road.
Come see us at Faith for Deliverance, Tennessee, where we'll trape anything that don't eat.
4:24 is the time. Listen to this. A story decades in the making here. We're talking about 7 World War II veterans who were given their final honor in a very special ceremony. This comes after they were discovered at a funeral in New York. Now, little is known about the remains of the people who were found, but we know they attended the ceremony. They say, those who attended this ceremony, they say giving them their proper goodbye was only the right thing to do.
They are our brothers and they are our sisters. And whether it's Korea, World War II, Vietnam, Iraq, Afghanistan, they stood for us, we stand for them.
We would have never had this country the way it is today without those gentlemen.
After all this time, the service members were brought to their final resting place. Of course, we, Fox 17 News, thank their families as well as those gentlemen or ladies for their service. In the meantime, let's get to Greg Bobus. He's got the very latest here on this Wednesday forecast. It's a little wet for some people.
Yeah, some showers coming down right now. We had rain about an hour ago in the Nashville area. Now we're just in a few sprinkles. We get down toward Murfreesboro, Cookeville. All this moving from the top left-hand side of your screen to the bottom right-hand side of your screen, meaning places like Hopkinsville, Clarksville, Dickson. You're going to be in the clear for the rest of this morning pretty soon. Taking a look at what this means moving forward. Well, today we're going to have temperatures that will easily be in the middle 70s for all of us. Weekend outlook. I have bumped the temperature a little bit here for each day. Rain chances, though, this is good news if you have plans. They are now near zero for Saturday. There could be a PM storm for Sunday. But Saturday itself, we have had that rain chance dropping throughout the week, and that continues to look to be the trend. Breezy and warm both days. Wind out of the south will make it feel a little warmer each day. Nice mornings. Take a look at that. You wake up to 65 on Saturday, 66 degrees on Sunday. The forecast going forward, well, you can track a little bit of rain here this morning. You just saw on radar by getting the Fox 17 Code Red Weather app. Also, we have one more weather maker before the weekend even gets here. That will be late Thursday into portions of your Friday. We're going to tackle that on Future Track coming up as we go into our 4:30 half hour.
Stay clear traffic out there for you this morning. Let's take a quick look at the scene here. This is going to be I-40 at Fesser's Lane, just east of downtown. Things moving along here pretty well. We had an overnight crash in this area that really slowed things up, but thankfully they've been able to get all of that out of the way, and now traffic is flowing again. We're going to take a look at some other areas of town coming up in a few. Let's move to news from the Federal Trade Commission. They have voted to ban non-compete clauses in employment contracts. It's a major move that experts say will be challenged in court. Now, the White House has been pushing to ban non-competes. These agreements keep people from leaving a company to work for competitors for at least a certain amount of time. About 1 in every 5 employees are currently restricted by non-competes across the country. While the FTC argues that they harm workers, business groups say that the FTC does not have the authority to ban non-competes. In the meantime, the U.S. Chamber of Commerce is suing to block the federal government. That could tie things up for years. If former President Trump wins the White House again coming up in the fall, he could rescind this particular measure by the FTC. Protesters laying on the floor at the state capitol after lawmakers pass a bill allowing teachers to go to school with guns. Coming up in our next half hour, we're going to take a look at some of the debates that are happening.
Text messages. Morgan & Morgan got my initial offer 10x'd, and I never even got a check. I just got a direct deposit into my bank account. It's so easy.
You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
Coming up, an apartment fire destroys several units at Axis Apartments on Glenberry Drive. I'll have the details in just a little bit.
And if you ever see one, you won't forget it, but you could soon see some relief. The Tennessee Senate passed a bill that could restrict booting across the state and even things like this, these barnacles. I'm going to tell you more about that coming up in a few minutes.
Taking a look at the forecast here with some rain this morning, but that's not going to last all day. We'll track you into the weekend with one more weather maker before we get to Saturday.
All right, Greg, thank you so much, and thank you for joining us here on Fox 17 News this morning, just after 4:30 on this Wednesday. I'm Justin McFarland. We are following breaking news this morning as Metro Police and Fire have been very busy overnight trying to deal with the blaze at the Glengarry neighborhood that is very close to the Nashville International Airport. Our own Fox 17 News Karen Aguilar live on the scene from Glengarry Drive with more information directly from the fire chief. Karen.
Good morning, Justin. The fire chief tells me the fire started around midnight and at least 4 units were affected at Axis Apartments, which is here behind me, and it's in this area of the complex. Just a few moments ago, we saw multiple people going down the stairs with their items, trying to figure out where to go. One of those people I spoke with, he and his wife, he says, were sleeping in the middle of the night when they heard screaming. And actually, you can see one man right there at the top of the stairs. You can see that he is carrying some of those items. He is not the guy I spoke with. with. But this is just a very devastating situation for these people to try to figure out how they're going to rebuild, where they're going to go. And again, it just happened in the middle of the night. Now, the fire chief tells me that luckily no one was hurt, but several units, again, did sustain substantial damage. He says that investigators are working to determine the cause of this fire. Reporting live in Nashville, Karen Aguilar, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
All right, Karen, thank you so much. An Operation Crime and Justice, a murder investigation is underway after a deadly shooting on Winding Way there in Sumner County. Now, during the course of this investigation, authorities say that Jacob Garrett admitted to shooting Patrick Fullerton. This happened on Monday. Garrett is now in the jail, and he's being charged with second-degree murder as well as tampering with evidence. The Columbia Police Department is working to locate at least 2 people wanted for attempted murder. Police are looking for 33-year-old George Bullock and 24-year-old Shamar Davis. Both men have an active warrant for attempted first-degree murder. If you have any information about where they may be, you're asked to contact the Columbia Police Department. To get the very latest information right at your fingertips, we are always working to make sure you're up to date. You can download our free app. You can get that app by downloading or at least flashing that QR code, scanning that QR code right there on your screen with your phone. Just open up your camera, take a look at that QR code, and we'll take you there. Of course, you can always keep up to date on our website as well, fox17.com. And that includes not only news, but weather. Speaking of weather, Rick Bob is standing by.
That it does. I mean, anything you need, we got you covered, whether it's right here or you just scan those QR codes we show you every morning, taking a look at Doppler radar. Here's the last 6 hours. So we're going to reset this here momentarily. Showers dying down as they move in over the course of the last 6 hours. Nothing impressive, but definitely some rain on the windshields here this morning, depending upon where you're at. Now, a lot of this that we're seeing, Portland, Gallatin, and Nashville, as we continue to watch these showers go to the south and east, this isn't going to go away. The radar is very fine-tuned. That's not active rain coming down. A little bit of a darker green coloring is where we're seeing some decent rain. Right over the Murfreesboro area, right along I-24. So Murfreesboro up towards Smyrna, you may catch a little bit of rainfall. Eagleville as well, moving down toward the south and east pretty quickly. This is not going to be an all-morning event by any means, but you can take a look. Smithville out through Cassville, moving down toward the south and the east. Falls City, I'd say in about 10 minutes or so. Rain moves in McMinnville about 15 minutes from now. Big story, showers moving out. We'll be in the 80s by the weekend. Weekend rain has changed. We're keeping everything all clear. We have no chances for thunderstorms until next week in the forecast. You'll see that right here in your 7-day. 76 today, 75 great degrees tomorrow, just partly cloudy. A few showers late Thursday into Friday. We're going to look at that on Future Track in about 6 minutes from right now.
Steer clear traffic out there for you. Let's take a quick look here at I-65 Trinity Lane on the north side of town. As you can see there, traffic moving along very nicely. No big problems there on the north side. We had some earlier problems overnight with some of that rain that moved through, but nothing out of the ordinary, nothing too crazy. Everything clear and moving and grooving right now. The Tennessee Senate passed a bill that will restrict vehicle booting across the state. Now, the Senate Majority Leader Jack Johnson from Franklin introduced that legislation that will stop unlicensed individuals from booting vehicles in Tennessee and cap the boot removal fee at $75. According to the legislation, it would ensure owners of vehicles are not unfairly immobilized, in other words, unfairly targeted and can't move by parking attendants or even scammers.
It might be surprising to some, but I've received calls from constituents that literally there are individuals out there that will go out somewhere and buy one of these booting devices and show up in parking lots and start putting boots on people's cars and then waiting for them to come out of the restaurant and then telling them they have to pay $200 or something in order to get that boot removed.
The bill also proposes new regulations for towing and parking. If you want to read more about this story, you can do so on our website, fox17.com. We are looking ahead to Thursday here on Fox 17 News at 9, and the issue of putting all of our safety at risk. We're talking about violent criminals released on low or no bond at all, and some of them are going right back out there to commit even worse crimes. Anton Rucker is an example of this. He's a man with a long violent criminal history, but he is out on bond in Rutherford County. He's the person accused of opening fire at a busy Nashville restaurant on Easter Sunday. One person died in that shooting. Experts say this is just one of many examples happening across Tennessee.
He was a felon. He was carrying a weapon. He had a long criminal history. Why are we letting him back out on the street? Because that's his job. His job is violence, addiction, chaos, and victimization. That's his job.
Thursday night, Dennis Ferrier begins to paint a very startling picture with example after example after example of how the system is failing public safety in Middle Tennessee. Our investigation begins Thursday at 9 p.m. Well, construction continues on Donaldson Pike. Live look out there this morning. We're going to tell you what you need to know at that interchange out there and when they could finally be done with all of this. And Fox 17 News, we're your only live and local news source.
Smart think, smart think, smart talk, smart think, smart. You are smart, smarty pants.
You gotta unleash the power.
Weeknights at 5 on Fox 17.
.40 is the time, and a bill that would allow Tennessee teachers to go to school with guns is now on its way to Governor Bill Lee's desk. It's a controversial vote that triggered a lot of chaos at the Capitol both before and after the vote. Now, it has been a long, ongoing debate over firearms and school safety. This is especially after the Covenant shooting that took place at the Covenant school last year. Yesterday's House session began with people holding signs in the gallery and shouting in opposition. State troopers were brought in, and they escorted lots of people out of the gallery, as you're watching here. And the protest did continue on the floor there, just outside of the House chambers. Republicans believe this bill will make teachers and students safer, especially in more rural areas where they do not have access to school resource officers.
There's over 500 schools, public schools in the state of Tennessee that still do not have a school resource officer. This is just another tool that will allow some of those rural school districts to be able to qualify someone.
You're just going to have a tragedy where a teacher's left a gun unattended and some third grader's going to grab it and accidentally shoot himself or a classmate.
Senator Bailey says if a school district does not want to implement this policy, they don't have to. Governor Bill Lee still needs to approve and sign off on this bill in order for it to take effect.
441, checking out your forecast for you here. Two things of note. One, rain. You'll see that before you actually get out the door. But number two, warmer temperatures. We're at 58 right now. Best morning so far this week. Isn't even close to earlier on your Monday and Tuesday. We have a few raindrops right now in the Nashville area. Most of our rain, though, scooting down to the south and the east very quickly. All of our temperatures are in the upper 50s and low 60s, some 15 to 25 degrees warmer than the exact same time yesterday. Here's a look at future track. When does this all get out of here? When are we back to some sunshine? That happens today, fairly quickly. I would say by 9 o'clock, Hopkinsville, Clarksville, all the way down through Nashville, mainly sunny, and then we stay mainly sunny the entire afternoon. Not much to worry about overnight tonight. Relatively clear as well. Our next weather maker after this morning's light rainfall, that again won't last that much longer. Here's 4 p.m. on your Thursday. No rain yet, but overnight Thursday going into Friday morning. It'll last a little longer through the first half of your Friday. Here's 6 a.m., tracking scattered showers to end the week, and those will hang with us as we go into, I would say, right around lunchtime on your Friday. What does this mean for Saturday and Sunday? Marathon downtown on Saturday morning. We'll take a look at that coming up in the next check of your forecast.
Also coming up here on Fox 17 News this morning, we are gearing up for the NFL draft. We're going to tell you about the positions the Titans are expected to target with their first pick. Thanks for watching Fox 17 News this morning.
Trucking company and the insurance company are not concerned with the victim. I was worried about being able to pay my bills. I enjoyed you representing me because I knew I had to have the best.
.45 is the time, making national headlines this morning. The United States Department of Justice has now reached a multi-million-dollar settlement with the sexual assault victims of Larry Nassar. You may remember the name Larry Nassar. He was convicted of sexually assaulting athletes while he was working as a doctor with USA Gymnastics. More than 100 women and oftentimes young girls also sued the DOJ over the FBI's initial failure of investigating this case. Nassar is serving up to 175 years in prison for that abuse. Well, the NFL draft is set to get going on Thursday. It's going to be happening up there in Detroit, and the stakes could not be higher for the Titans' first-year coach, Brian Callahan, as the team has the 7th overall pick. Fox 17 sports director Joe Jelnick has a little bit more on who the Titans will be looking at with that first-round pick.
The Tennessee Titans had a lot of needs going into this offseason, but none bigger than left tackle. The majority of draft experts have the Titans selecting a lineman in the first round of the NFL draft. And the good news is both general manager Ryan Carthon and head coach Brian Callahan believe this is a draft class that is deep with offensive line talent. Carthon also noted that besides looking at the typical size and speed of linemen, they also look at scheme. A lot of college offenses these days have started to shift back to a pro-style offense, and that's something the Titans evaluate when they're looking at the tape and looking out for their future offensive linemen.
We were looking at the numbers yesterday. The numbers are pretty consistent. The O-line is a little deeper for us, in particular, and I think a lot of it has to do with what you're doing schematically and how these different players fit into your scheme. There was a time where college offenses were pro-style offenses, and then it kind of went more spread, and you're starting to see a little bit more of the pro concepts coming back. So you have a little bit more guys that fit, right into what you want to do.
Just from my point of view, it's a bunch of good players. There's it's probably more offensive linemen than there's been in past classes. This feels deep in terms of the talent that's available. And the same thing with the receivers. I think the receiver classes are pretty similar these days, where you're going to have a handful of high-end talent that's probably going to go in the higher parts of the rounds, and there's going to be some depth in the class that's got a lot of different options for what you're looking for in a receiver.
Of course, offensive lineman and receiver, the two biggest needs for the Titans, but you can't forget about the defense. Coach Callahan also mentioning how their scout team, they're challenging that team to look for defensive studs in those 5th, 6th, and 7th rounds. Those are the rounds that they hope to separate themselves and have an advantage when it comes to finding those talented players. NFL draft this Thursday, 7 p.m. start for the first round. And as always, Fox 17 will have you covered. Reporting from the Titans practice facility, Jill Jelnick, Fox 17 Sports, your Code Red station.
All right, let's get to the ice. It was high fives all around for the Nashville Predators as they really did own the ice last night, pulling off a huge victory over the Vancouver Canucks in Game 2 of their series to tie it up at 1 game each. In the second period, Scoresburg brings it to 2-0 Preds, and then they score again. This time, Colton Sissons made it 3-0. The Canucks did add a goal late in the game, but overall, they win it 4-1 over Vancouver. By the way, Vancouver had a major injury. Their starting goaltender went down just before the game started, hours before, so they had a backup goaltender in, and it really paid off for the Preds. Now, the series will be shifting here to Nashville. Game 3 coming up in Smashville, 6:30 on Friday night. Then Game 4 will be a Sunday afternoon affair. All right, of course, you're going to see a lot more Predator gold showing up around town. Staying with us and all of that as the Preds get set to host some playoff games at Bridgestone. In the meantime, let's get to Greg standing by.
Forecast this morning, a little bit of rain, and maybe you are going to one of those 2 games. You want to snag some tickets. Yeah. Weather's going to be perfect this week, and I'm telling you right now, get downtown early, enjoy it, make a day of it if you can. Taking a look right now, though, we're tracking a little bit of rain. We've got Cookeville out toward Crossville, McMinnville, Murfreesboro, even a few little sprinkles still in the Nashville area, but for the most most part. Rain moving out fairly quickly. It's going to be done by around 7, 8 o'clock this morning for the majority of us. Not a big deal, but some wet pavement will be out there. And I'm also watching for any indicators that we may end up with a little bit of isolated visibility issues here. I'm talking about some light fog that may creep in. They actually have a fog advisory in effect in portions of central and southern Kentucky, just out of the viewing area, but still close enough to home. We'll watch it here as well. Regional temperatures here in the southeast, we're all in the same boat, but it's a nice boat to be on today compared to earlier in the week. No frost. We're at 58 degrees in the Nashville area, and we have temperatures that are going to continue to climb back into the 70s again later today. So overall, forecast not bad. Lunchtime. By then, even though we're gloomy right now, visibility issues will creep in and a little rain is out there. By lunchtime, mostly sunny. 69, 71 degrees at noon, 73 at 1 p.m. No one to mow. Today, you can do it later on this afternoon. You can tomorrow as well. Friday, not so much. Here's the big update. Take a look at your screen. If you're running this weekend, maybe you just got into town. Maybe you know some friends that are. You have to listen up. Rain. Right now, I've got it out of the forecast for the morning completely, and even into the afternoon. Mild mornings have boosted our temperatures a few degrees, 68 degrees at 7 o'clock and 74 degrees at 10 a.m. Wind out of the south at 10 to 20 miles per hour, so the St. Jude Rock and Roll Marathon looking even better than it did just 24 hours ago. I would not be shocked if not a drop of rain shows up on the radar, and will stay mostly cloudy throughout the day. Middle 70s today and tomorrow, lower 80s Friday and Saturday, mid 80s on Sunday. We're going to work through, though, that very late in the day, Thursday into Friday rainfall coming up in the next check of your forecast.
Steer clear traffic out there this morning. Let's take a quick look here at what we're dealing with on I-24. This is going to be at Hickory Hollow Parkway there in the Antioch area. You can see there traffic moving along without delay. We're doing just fine out there, despite the fact we do have some rain showers moving their way through the mid-state. We'll have the very latest from Greg Bobus coming up here with the rest of your forecast coming up in a few, and I will continue to watch the roads here for you as well. Well, developing now, conservation groups are appealing water withdrawal permits issued to local utilities along the Duck River this week. Now, the Southern Environmental Law Center says that 8 utilities want to increase their daily water use from the river by 19 million gallons, for a total of 73 million gallons to be pumped from the river every day. The State Department of Environment and Conservation approved 3 of those utilities' requests. The group says that's a huge increase in water consumption, and it threatens the health of the river and puts wildlife at risk. Now, DTEC issued a response saying, quote, DTEC has long valued and recognized that the Duck River has been taking proactive measures to ensure its protection and its use is balanced. Now, you want to make sure that the use is balanced between natural resources protection, wildlife conservation, outdoor recreation, and the needs of Tennesseans as the communities continue to experience growth. They say this is a pending legal matter, and they don't have any more comments, at least not right now. Well, you could win some extra money for mom just by playing our Mother's Day Mania. Now, we're giving away $100 of prepaid debit cards each day, starting coming up on Monday. For Fox 17 News this morning, you got to watch us right here on the morning show. This is the only place you can get this. And we're going to be having the Mother's Day code. You can get the question right, and then you could win a $100 prize and be entered for a chance to win a $5,000 weekly drawing. Mother's Day Mania, right here on Fox 17 this morning. You do not have to be a mom to win, although I advise sharing with your mom whatever you do win. Just an idea. Now is your chance to win some super cool prizes from the Nashville Predators. We're going to give you a chance to see the Preds in their playoff action that's coming up in a few. Thanks for watching Fox 17 News this morning as we're getting set for the major marathon. It's the St. Jude's Rock and Roll Running Series.
Ways to treat even more types of cancer. It's true. Keytruda from Merck. See all the types of cancer Keytruda is known for at Keytruda.com and ask your doctor if Keytruda could be right for you.
4:56 is the time. Here is your chance to see and cheer for the Nashville Predators at Bridgestone Arena. Just scan this QR code right here on your screen for your chance to win those tickets, or you can go to our website, fox17.com/contest, for your chance to receive 2 tickets to either the Nashville Predators, to either one of the Nashville Predator home playoff games that's coming up here this weekend. One on Friday night, and then that will be game 3, and then game 4 on Sunday afternoon. Keep in mind that random selection messages and data rates may apply. For complete contest details, you can go to fox17.com/contest. Well, taking a look at our website, if you are looking for a road trip idea, maybe a little bit later this year, we have got the idea for the natural wonder that will definitely light up your summer. It's happening at the Great Smoky National Parks. And we are giving you an offer to see the fireflies in action once again. If you want to read more about that story, you can see them all lit up right there. You can visit our website at fox17.com. Let's get to Greg Bowman. So look at your Wednesday forecast.
And most of today is going to be great. Right now is kind of the only problem hour or two we have to get through. A couple of showers that will end here throughout this morning. We're starting off much warmer, though. Temperature right near 60 degrees, 76 later today. Once those showers end, clouds will linger through about 9, 10, 11 o'clock, depending upon where you're at. But this afternoon will end up being mainly sunny all the way through sunset. It just is the first few hours of today we have to watch. Also, monitoring any potential visibility problems, because many areas that have seen the rain move out, about an hour or two later, some fog has crept in. So keep our eyes on it, but nothing out there to worry about for right now. Weekend outlook, the rain chance for Saturday is nearly at 0 now. Even Sunday, not much to worry about. Breezy and warm. I bumped the temperature a little bit because without as much cloud cover and rain, we'll get a little bit warmer. 83 on Saturday, 85 degrees on Sunday. You can always follow along with any weather updates. We'll keep tracking for you here all the way through 9 o'clock live in real time. But our X pages on Twitter are also a great place to go to for the entire weather team when you want breaking weather information. Coming up as we go into our 5 o'clock half hour. Future Track says, hold up, we have one more chance for rain before that great-looking weekend. We're going to time it out for you.
Steer clear traffic out there for you. Let's take a good look here at This is going to be I-24 at Harding Place as you make that drive through the Antioch area. We're doing really nice out there. No big problems so far out there on the roads. We'll be sure to tell you about anything that does pop up as we got you covered live and local through 9. A man charged with the 1996 murder of hip-hop legend Tupac Shakur is back in court yesterday. 60-year-old Dwayne DeKeefe Davis, Keefe D, we're told, Dwayne Keefe D. Davis, told a Los Angeles gang leader he's been behind bars in Las Vegas since his arrest last September. His attorney says that his clients are fictional and that prosecutors lack key evidence to obtain a murder conviction. Davis is the only person still alive who was in the car from where the shots were fired in the September 1996 murder of Tupac Shakur there in Las Vegas. Our 5 o'clock hour starts right now.
You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
Good morning, 5 o'clock on the dot, cracking down on crime. So many people in Nashville saying enough is enough and that something has to be done to keep repeat offenders off the streets. We have updates on the newest search efforts for one suspected shooter.
And teachers could soon be able to carry a firearm inside their classroom. The ongoing debate on how to best to keep students safe.
And showers on the radar here this morning. Who's got the rain for now and when it finally exits? But we're not done. One more chance before the weekend. We'll time out as well.
All right, let's get to it this Wednesday. Thanks so much for waking up with Fox 17 News This Morning. I'm Erica Glover.
And I'm Jennifer Waddell. We're glad to be your live local news team, always here for you through 9 a.m. Let's kick off your Wednesday morning now with the top few headlines you'll want to know about.
Yeah, there is going to be no court proceedings today in the hush money criminal trial for former President Donald Trump. Jurors heard testimony from former National Enquirer executive David Pecker. That was yesterday. Court then went ahead and adjourned early in observance of Passover. Testimony in the trial is going to resume Thursday.
President Biden says he will sign the foreign aid bill as soon as it gets to his desk today. Mr. Biden says the need to get the aid to America's allies like Ukraine and Israel is urgent. The president also says this legislation will help people impacted by conflicts in Gaza, Sudan, and Haiti.
Well, House Speaker Mike Johnson is set to visit Columbia University today. His office says he's going to meet with Jewish students and speak about anti-Semitism. Pro-Palestinian protests have been rocking Columbia along with other major universities. Because of safety concerns, the school is now moving to hybrid classes until their semester wraps up next Monday.
We have an update this morning to some breaking news that we first brought you last night, coming from Metro Police, who confirmed the body of a man found on I-24 near Briley Parkway, just north of downtown, is that of a man who was reported missing by his sister.
Go ahead and take a look at your screen right here. Police say the man's name is Terrence Williams. They say his sister was talking on the phone with him last week when he abruptly hung up while walking to get help, he said, after his car broke down. Officers found his body yesterday on I-24 right near Briley Parkway. Police say Williams' sister believes that he could have been the victim of a hit and run. This investigation, though, is ongoing.
It's always our goal here to keep you in the know, so that's why we're your live local news source from 4 until 9 a.m. But if you want to get updates on our stories throughout the course of the day, you can sign up for our daily newsletter. It'll come straight to your email inbox. You can sign up for it at fox17.com.
Just about 5:03, we're checking in now because some folks, Greg, are waking up to some light showers out there, some sprinkles.
Yeah, this is nothing to write home about, but if you look out the window here, you're either seeing some wet pavement or the rain is coming down in real time. I know a little while ago driving into the TV station, you had some rain. Didn't last all that long. It was light to moderate at best, and then it was gone, and now we just have the aftermath. I'm going to watch for some fog later, though. We're in a warm enough area where we could end up seeing some fog. And when the initial band of rain, this broken band that we'll get to in a moment, does die down in your area, a few more of these little sprinkles like we have in the circled area here can't be ruled out through about 8 o'clock this morning, so just keep that in mind. But here are a few of the areas that are seeing the more decent, steadier rainfall, moving away from Murfreesboro right now towards Centertown and Morrison in the next 15 minutes, and then Smithville, you're right in the middle of it. Give it another 15 minutes and things will die down. This really is a quick move or two. There's been no thunder, no lightning, and there won't be any for the rest of today, so don't worry about that. Actually, our forecast looks great. Showers move out. We get back to the 80s by Friday. We'll be in the mid-70s today, though. Really nice looking day. And then finding weekend rain. Things have changed, but they've changed for the better. We'll take a look at that, and then a sneak peek here real quick at your 7-day forecast. 70s into the 80s, but you see the chance for some showers before the weekend. We'll look at that as well.
Greg, thank you so much. 5:04 is the time. We do want to do a quick check of your steer clear traffic updates out there, and right now we're showing you this. West Nashville, I-40 at White Bridge Road, where we see the sleeping trucks, just two of them over there on the right shoulder, so just watch out for them. No issues at hand right now, but we'll continue sharing all of your steer clear traffic updates, of course, up until 9 o'clock.
The only reason he's dead is because a murderer was out on bond.
New this morning in Operation Crime and Justice, the stories of repeat offenders who so many folks say have got to be off the streets. We have state lawmakers, local advocates calling for change after Metro Police say a repeat offender is still on the run this morning, accused of killing a man in Midtown this past weekend.
And police say that this is the man they're tracking down, Adrian Cameron Jr. The 19-year-old was out on bond with an ankle monitor while awaiting trial for a 2021 murder.
And all of this has really upset a lot of folks in our communities. They are demanding for something to change.
Put on a leg monitor or an ankle monitor on them, and somehow you think that's going to take them out of their normal, which is violence and chaos.
It's unacceptable. We are failing the public. Government is failing the public in this regard, and we have to do better.
That's Representative John Gillespie. He has a few bills right now working their way through the legislature, including stricter pre-trial monitoring. The DA's office tells Fox 17 News they have now filed a motion to revoke Cameron's bond, which is something that people have been calling for in our state, quite frankly, for years. And there are numerous cases where this same sign-up scenario has played out. So if you want more information on that aspect of the story and you want to follow this, you can do it at fox17.com. In the meantime, you can always send us news tips. You know, maybe there's something you know about something. You can stay anonymous when you reach out to us. Just click that QR code right there with your smartphone camera, and it'll take you right to the link to send us your news tips.
So God, we thank you for Sebastian's life. And God, right now we're seeking you, we're asking you for a miracle.
Asking for a miracle, it's a story that has gained statewide attention. This morning, local community members say they are not giving up hope. Fox 17 News continuing to ask questions about the investigation into 15-year-old Sebastian Rogers' disappearance.
And looking ahead, we have an update this morning after months of heated debate over a state bill that would ban flags other than the American flag or the Tennessee flag in our schools.
More going on right now.
A gun in the classroom.
Well, 5:09 right now, and new this morning, the bill that would give Tennessee teachers the option to be armed in their classroom has passed the State House. Previously, it passed the Senate. All expectation now is that it will go to the governor, and all of this comes after a lot of protests here in Nashville at the Capitol just yesterday.
Fox 17 News' Karen Aguilar is joining us live from the Capitol, giving us some more updates about what happened there. A lot of demonstrators speaking out.
Yeah, there was a lot of commotion, and look, this has been an ongoing debate that has sparked opposition, and once the House passed that bill yesterday behind me at the Capitol, there was outrage. People were holding signs against the bill at the gallery, vocally protesting, and troopers escorted people out. Lawmakers for the bill say it would make schools safer, especially rural areas where they don't have access to school resource officers.
There's over 500 schools, public schools in the state of Tennessee that still do not have a school resource officer. This is just another tool that will allow some of those rural school districts to be able to qualify someone.
You're just going to have a tragedy where a teacher's left a gun unattended and some third grader's going to grab it and accidentally shoot himself or a classmate.
The bill is waiting to be signed by Governor Bill Lee. Now, we are working to find out if schools will actually enforce the new policies if he does sign that bill. Reporting live in front of the Capitol, Karen Aguilar, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
We love you and we miss you and we want you to come home. And just know that we all care about you so much.
I just think as a community, we're all concerned.
Still a lot of concerns about what happened to Sebastian Rogers. Fox 17 News continues to track the search for that 15-year-old with autism ever since he disappeared from his home 2 months ago. You first heard from his biological mother and stepfather who didn't want to show their faces on camera. And then you heard from a volunteer who says they're just not going to give up. And to that point, students at Beach High School are leading an effort right now to keep the search ongoing for their missing classmate and really just to keep this top of mind. So they're asking everyone to support their efforts by wearing green, Sebastian's favorite color. Sebastian's biological father launched an online petition. He's really frustrated. He's urging the FBI to take over this investigation and take it away from Sumner County and the TBI. The Sumner County Sheriff's Office says they're not giving up. If you'd like to wear green for Sebastian Rogers, you can see they're planning to do that today. They're in Sumner County, not just Sumner County schools, but the rest of the community. That's the flyer that they've put up. It says Keep Hope. If you want to read more about our continuing coverage and stay up to date, you can go to fox17.com. Just search Sebastian.
5:12 our time, taking a look at the forecast, and as we go into the next couple of hours, these rain showers on your screen, they go away, but I'm tracking one more round before Saturday coming up in your COVID forecast.
Comfort in 7 days with significant improvement over time.
Good morning and welcome into Fox 17 News this morning. It's 5:15, getting you updated on some national headlines here. It is confirmed the U.S. Senate has approved the $95 billion foreign aid package for Ukraine, Israel, and Taiwan. That legislation now goes to President Biden's desk, where he is expected to sign off on it today. We don't know an exact time frame, but just as soon as we get updates, we'll be sure to let you know.
We're also keeping a very close eye on any TikTok updates because moving forward, the Senate has passed legislation that could lead to a potential ban of the popular video sharing app. TikTok. Well, lawmakers, we've talked about this, have really rallied against the company, saying it gives the Chinese government potential access to the personal data information of millions of Americans. About 170 million Americans, in fact, use TikTok. TikTok, though, has threatened to go ahead and go to court if the president signs this bill.
Continuing coverage now as Tennessee lawmakers have voted to amend a part of the Constitution that has been on the books since 1796, the year our state was founded.
Well, it would give Tennessee judges wider discretion to go ahead and keep people accused of serious crimes in jail until trial. Those offenses include second-degree murder and terrorism. Right now, judges can only deny bail in capital murder cases. The White House, though, has passed this resolution after some very spirited debate. Listen.
If it was the answer, that provision would not have remained intact since 1796.
You know who doesn't become a repeat offender? The one that stays in prison. Those people can't reoffend.
And, you know, this falls in line with a story that we brought you at the top of the newscast, and that is the current search for a murder suspect who also was out on bond at the time the crime happened. So again, this happening in our Tennessee House. The state Senate passed it as well. Amending the Constitution, though, requires the next legislature to pass this resolution as well. So this is a fairly in-depth process here in our state. And if that happens, it would then go on the ballot for a public vote, looking ahead to 2026, where the people would have the final say.
5:17 is the time. You know what, Greg? Monday we were dealing with possible frost concerns. And now we're talking about 70s, and then we're talking about 80s.
Oh, a little fog later today. We have a little rain right now. This is just one of those weeks where you get every season in the exact same week, where you go from the winter frost, the winter coat to, sunscreen and t-shirts for this upcoming weekend. Look at that, though. 48 hours has done a good deal of work for us here when it comes to morning temps. We are a good 20 degrees warmer than we were yesterday morning. We are at 58. Little light rainfall tracking through the area, but it has not moved much here in the last 5 minutes. It slowed down just a tad since around 4:30, but areas like Murfreesboro out toward Crossville, Cookeville, McMinnville, you're seeing that rain starting to pick up. Rain chances going forward. Tomorrow, there's a bar there. However, there's a caveat to when it moves in. Your morning and afternoon look great. After sunset, it moves in. And then the first half of your Friday, I would say through noon, 1 o'clock on Friday, scattered showers going to track in from west to east, so left to right side of your screen throughout the day. Saturday, the one day where I've gone, nope, not buying it. Saturday looking dry right now. A few days ago, looked like we were going to have some showers. That has gone away in the forecast, and Sunday's chance very limited. So make your weekend plans right now. We are going to be easily into the 80s for the upcoming weekend. We keep our night times very mild as well. Today will end up being a high of 76 degrees. Decreasing clouds, taking a look, 75 on your Thursday, 82 on your Friday, 83 on Saturday, 85 on Sunday and Monday. I've already got my eyes, though, glued to Monday of next week. I know we're going past the weekend here, but that's our next chance for thunderstorms as a stronger cold front moves in. We'll have to watch that as our next potential, and I'm saying just right now, day to monitor for any code red.
Stay clear traffic for you this morning. Let's get to the very latest happening here on I-24 at Briley Parkway. That's where we have just encountered a disabled tractor trailer there on the shoulder of the road. So watch out for that as you make your way out of Nashville this morning. You can see it right here. It's got its flashes on. No emergency crews have gotten there yet to help deal with that. But when they do, it could force traffic to move over a little bit. That's the only thing we've got going on right now. Other than that, we're good to go out there across the mid-stage. We'll continue to watch things, of course, live through 9.
Justin, thank you. New this morning from Smoky Barn News. We're getting some updates because according to Millersville Police, former Millersville Mayor Tim Lassiter has been arrested.
Man, this is just the latest in a saga. A lot of drama that's been playing out there in Millersville. Police say that Lassiter got picked up at his home last night. He's charged with 2 counts of document fraud. Now, Lassiter stepped down as mayor of Millersville in 2022. After 10 years in that position, and you may remember our reporting several months ago about how almost all of the Millersville Fire Department quit after learning that there had been other changes in leadership there. So we'll continue to work to get you updates on that story.
A lot going on. Yeah. A man is behind bars this Wednesday morning after police say he shot his ex-girlfriend's new boyfriend. Metro Police say Deontay Thompson, the man on your screen, was out on probation when he broke into an apartment and shot the victim in the foot. They say the two men then fought over the gun before Thompson left the scene. He was booked on a 10 outstanding warrants and is now facing a weapons charge.
At 5:20 right now in your community, we go to Hendersonville, where that community will be having a ceremony today as they unveil their brand new Safe Haven baby box. It's happening at 3 o'clock at one of the fire stations there, and Hendersonville will be the 6th Safe Haven baby box location in our state. They say they're the first in the metro Nashville area. Over the last few years, more than 40 babies have been safely surrendered to baby boxes.
Coming up, the Tennessee House took on the issue of something called abortion trafficking. We're going to show you the moment when frustration really boiled over for one lawmaker who did not think she was being taken seriously.
And Fox 17 News giving you a live look at the construction just off Donaldson Pike near the airport. This is high traffic area and a lot of
tears. Common side effects include sneezing, cough, and throat and nose irritation.
Relying only on drops? Not me. My own real tears are my relief.
Ask your eye doctor about Tearvia.
5:24 is the time. Tennessee lawmakers took on the issue of abortion trafficking. They did that on Tuesday. They want to ban anyone other than a parent from driving a pregnant teen across state lines for an abortion. They using this law here, they say, to make sure that children remain safe here in the state of Tennessee. So they claim here in that particular piece of legislation. Now, this caused lots of debate there on the House floor. But for one representative, Afton Bain of Nashville, she felt like her arguments were not being taken seriously, and it turned into a moment like this.
This bill is a direct attack on me, on my family, on my friends, on my network that support Tennesseans who are pregnant and vulnerable minors that need access to care, to go across state lines and receive the necessary care. Is this a joke? Is this funny to you? Seriously. It's not funny. And every time you've presented this bill, you've been smug, and I don't appreciate it.
Leader Lamberth asked me if I wanted some water that he had previously drank out of, and I laughed and I said no. So that was the reason. It was not a smugness representative, so my sincere apologies.
In the meantime, Democrats did present lots of amendments to this bill. They all failed. The House did ultimately pass this. It will move on to the governor's desk.
5:25, looking at a forecast here. Well, we're not going to see much to worry about going in toward the afternoon. A couple of showers out there right now. Not enough rain to where it will keep our ground soaked throughout the day. So if you wanted to get the lawn mowed later today, you'll be okay with that. The morning hours not going to be so ideal. Damp pavement out there, damp grass through about noon. Then we're okay. Your Thursday looks great. Friday, however, though, the first half of the day, rain comes down pretty steadily for most of us, on and off through about lunchtime. So I would say kind of cutting it close here if we're trying to do it late in the day on Friday. But as far as the forecast goes moving forward, Friday weathermaker does move in, but that's not going to bring anything substantial. A couple of showers here and there, maybe a weak rumble of thunder, but we clear it all out just in time for Saturday. The St. Jude Rock and Roll Marathon. Here is your forecast. 68 degrees at 7 a.m., 74 at 10. Fairly cloudy, a little windy at times here with wind gusts up near 25 miles per hour, but I put the rain chance to nearly zero during running time and beyond throughout the afternoon. We're going to see what this means, though, because the entire weekend's not going to be dry, which means Sunday has a few showers. We'll look at those as we go into our 5:30 half hour.
Steer clear traffic takes us over to I-40 at Donaldson Pike. Let's get to the very latest there. You know, crews are busy in this area creating a diverging diamond interchange. Now, TDOT says this brand new interchange will use concrete dividers, stop bars, and traffic signals to try and guide motorists through this area. This is, of course, around the Donaldson Pike, I-40, and Nashville International Airport area. The work will be done in 2027, but until then, you can expect a lot of lane closures and even blasting in this area to make room for that interchange. Again, work will not be done until 2027. For that particular interchange there in Donaldson Pike. It's going to change the look of that entire area, though. Well, coming up, the first of what could be many wins, we hope, for the Nashville Predators. We've got highlights from their big victory over the Vancouver Canucks and when they will be coming back to Smashville.
The controversial bill that arms teachers and staff across the power.
Weeknights at 5 on Fox 17.
This Fox 17 This Morning newscast is sponsored by Electronic Express. We make it happen. You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
Now on Fox 17 News this Wednesday morning, a Sumner County man has been arrested and charged with murder after shooting on Monday. We're going to tell you what deputies found during the investigation.
And the legislation that has faced a lot of controversy could ultimately allow teachers in our state to carry guns in the classroom. It has now passed both houses of Tennessee's legislature. We'll let you know what's next.
And waking up here to some wet pavement, a few showers still out there on the radar when they'll get out of here, and how the rest of the week shapes up before changes to your weekend.
Thank you so much for waking up with us here on a Wednesday morning. For Fox 17 News, I'm Erica Glover.
And I'm Jennifer Waddell. Let's get straight to a developing story right now coming to us in Operation Crime and Justice. We have a Sumner County man who is now charged with murder after a deadly shooting that happened Monday. The Sumner County Sheriff's Office says deputies were investigating the shooting on Winding Way when the man you see behind us here, Jacob Garrett, admitted to shooting Patrick Fullerton.
Well, the sheriff's office said deputies found Fullerton's body, a revolver, and more evidence inside the house that's located over on Winding Way. Garrett is charged with second-degree murder and also tampering with evidence. Well, the controversial bill that would arm teachers and staff in public schools is now heading to Governor Bill Lee's desk after it passed the House and the Senate.
And this comes after more than a year since we saw the Covenant school shooting here in Nashville. Fox 17 News reporter Karen Aguilar joining us live right now to get us the reaction and to tell us what went on in the Capitol when all this came to a head.
Well, that's right, Jen. The decision comes a year after the Covenant school shooting, and some lawmakers just wanted to make schools safer. But after that bill passed in the House yesterday at the Capitol behind me, there was outrage. We saw students, parents, and community members holding signs against the bill at the gallery. There were demonstrations and vocal opposition, which resulted in troopers escorting people out. Some lawmakers were stunned at the decision to pass the bill, and others explained why this is a big step to prevent another Covenant school shooting tragedy.
This is our response for the Covenant tragedy. Most states do something to limit guns. We throw more guns at the problem. This has to be the most insane reaction to trying to fix a problem I've ever seen. It's ridiculous, and we ought to be ashamed.
There's over 500 schools, public schools in the state of Tennessee that still do not have a school resource officer. This is just another tool that will allow some of those rural school districts to be able to qualify someone.
Now, as you mentioned, Jen, the bill will now head to Governor Bill Lee's desk for his signature. Now, if it does, the question is, will schools enforce these new policies? And that is what we're working to find out right now. If we have an update on that, we will bring that story to you. Reporting live in front of the Capitol, Karen Aguilar, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Good morning, Tim. Right now, 5:33. Taking a look at your forecast. Rain moving out of some areas right now, but not quite done just yet. You get up to the Cumberland Plateau, and we've seen the rain kind of stall and slow down just a little bit over the course of the last 45 minutes. But as far as Nashville is concerned, maybe a little spritz of rain for the next couple of hours, but we're basically done. Clarksville up through Hopkinsville as well. Dickson, you're done. This has been a quick mover overnight, died down as it tracked through just like we thought it would. And now, by the time 9 o'clock rolls around, the showers will have moved out. Great looking afternoon. Get ready for some sunshine. Believe it or not, when the sun comes up, we'll be overcast by the time we get toward lunch. Mainly sunny and middle 70s. Right side of your screen, we're way better than yesterday morning, upper 50s and low 60s. Got a few changes to your weekend, though, we'll take a look at. And let's talk allergies. Just because we had a little bit of rain right now doesn't mean they're going to help out too much when it comes to allergies. Taking a look, trees are still in the severe category. Grass is still high. Mold has gone down just a touch, but no significant changes. And that's the case here for the next couple of days. Still going to be a little bit tough today, tomorrow, and even into the upcoming weekend. Without a lot of rainfall coming down, there's nothing to kick that pollen out of the atmosphere.
All right, everyone, steer clear traffic. Let's get you to I-24 Briley Parkway. This is coming down from the Antioch area. As you make that drive into town this morning, you can see we are dealing with mostly clear traffic here. We do have a tractor trailer on the shoulder of the road here. It is got its caution lights on. We're waiting for emergency crews to come by and get it. Other than that, though, we're good to go out there. This is I-40 at Dallas and Pike, also looking really good over there near the airport. We'll have your continuous traffic updates, including your latest drive times. It's all coming up here over the next few minutes.
High fives all around as the Nashville Predators own the playoff ice late last night. Yeah, the Preds pulling off a 4-1 victory over the Canucks to tie up the series at 1 game each.
This was a crucial road win, and if you'll think back to the regular season, the Canucks beat the Preds each of the 3 times they played each other. So huge win. We had Philip Scoresberg bringing it to 2-0 Preds last night, and then a rebound from Colton Sissons would make it 3-0. So we were up 3-0. The Canucks would finally get one on the board, but the Preds locked down the win 4-1. It was an advantageous night, you could say, for the Preds because the Canucks goalie was out with an injury that proved to be to our benefit. So they're coming back to Smashville. We've got a game right here. Game 3, 6:30 p.m. Friday, and then game 4 Sunday afternoon.
See, I like those times. I'm still up. I'm not asleep. So
Right.
here's your chance to see and cheer for our playoff Preds live at Bridgestone Arena. Scan this QR code right here on your screen or go to fox17.com/contest and enter for a chance to receive 2 tickets to either the Nashville Predators playoff game 3 or playoff game 4. Again, this is at Bridgestone Arena, April 26th or April 28th. We do have to say that message and data rates may apply, but for complete contest details, go to fox17.com/contest. Can we enter?
No, we cannot, unfortunately,
Okay.
but it is the hottest ticket in town.
Truly.
Yeah. Hey, still to come on Fox 17 News this morning, a Wall Street Journal reporter held in Russia for more than a year has just lost an appeal trying to get released. We'll tell you what's next in his struggle for freedom.
And this morning,
Bible today, and visit a nearby Christian church this Sunday.
This Fox 17 This Morning newscast is sponsored by Eurostone.
Good morning and welcome back into Fox 17 News this morning. 5:39 is the time, getting you updated now on some international headlines. A Russian court has now rejected the latest appeal by Wall Street Journal reporter Evan Gershkovich, ruling that he will have to stay in custody until at least June. Gershkovich, arrested in Russia more than a year ago and charged with espionage, but has still not been put on trial. Again, he's a reporter for the Wall Street Journal. The U.S. government and the Wall Street Journal have thoroughly denied that he was doing anything wrong there. But again, that appeal to be released has now been shot down.
And back here in Middle Tennessee, in just a couple of hours, Metro Social Services are going to release their yearly Community Needs Evaluation Report. Now, this particular report takes a closer look at how Nashville is growing. We know that's a lot, and whether some folks are not seeing benefits from all of the ongoing growth. We're expecting this report to come out around 9 o'clock this morning, so look out for more updates on all of our Fox 17 News social media platforms.
And a look at our forecast here. Everyone getting up, getting moving here on a Wednesday morning. We're talking about a forecast here of some rain that's out there right now. What does this mean for our school day? Well, first bell, wet pavement, getting out the door, getting to the bus stop. No rain, though, actively throughout the school day. Don't worry about that. When kids are getting home later, rain is long gone. 59 degrees at first bell after school. Well back into the 70s again. We'll call it 74 degrees for the temperature right around 2 p.m., 3 p.m. Upcoming precip chances bounce all over the place. The higher the bar, the better the chance for rain. Let's time it out when we're going to see what's happening, especially Thursday into Friday. Here's Future Track. It does show this morning's rainfall is out of here by 9 a.m. Then we're good. Rest of today, some sunshine. Overnight tonight, mainly clear. And then we'll call the forecast mainly sunny for at least the first 2/3 of tomorrow. 4 p.m. will stop yet. This is for your Thursday. Again, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. After that, a few showers move in during the overnight hours, and then they're going to stick with us a little bit longer than, say, what today's rain is going to do. Here's 6 a.m. for Friday. Rain showers continue through around noon, and then things die down, and then we smoothly sail into the upcoming weekend that we'll look at in the next Check Your Forecast.
Steer clear traffic out there on I-24 at Briley Parkway. This is over in the Antioch area. Traffic is moving along despite the fact we do have a disabled tractor trailer there on the shoulder of the road. We're going to continue to follow that. Of course, when crews get there to try and deal with that, we'll have to make some adjustments there with the traffic. Other than that, though, we're good to go. This is 65 at Trinity Lane. Also looking good there on the north side of town. We'll continue to watch things for you, give you your latest drive times. It's all coming up in a few.
Justin, thank you. 542 right now. A big healthcare hack. They have stolen healthcare data. One company finally indicating how many people could be impacted. You may be surprised. We'll have that story in just a couple.
% off store-wide. Save up to $1,700 on a new washer and dryer from Electrolux. Plus, get up to 36 months free financing. Electronic Express. We make it happen.
Welcome back. United Health says hackers likely stole files containing the personal information of a, quote, substantial proportion of Americans earlier this year.
Yeah, this is widespread. That cyber attack happened in February on the company's Change Healthcare business platform. That is used to submit and process insurance claims and is based right here in Nashville. United Health claims there is no evidence to suggest that doctor charts or full medical histories were stolen, but certainly of concern with the sheer number of people, millions impacted. The company warns it could still be months before they can identify and notify everybody whose information was stolen.
Yeah, so they launched a website to go ahead and answer concerns about this particular cyber attack. We do have a link to that site as well as the number that you can call for more information. To do that, go to our website, fox17.com, and click Fox Links.
America's child care crisis, in other words, the sheer cost of putting your child in daycare, taking another turn, now impacting a new group of parents.
Fox 17 News' Geoff Harris is explaining.
This is an all too common problem facing American families. Child care costs so high that parents need to stop working or turn down a job in order to care for their child. Now, most of that burden really falls on mothers who, according to recent surveys, are more likely to choose caring for their child over seeking employment if child care isn't an option.
Yes, cost. It's a very significant factor because I'm a single mom.
Natasha Cooper lives in New York with her 1-year-old son, Jesse. She tells us when he was born, she looked into childcare, but it was too expensive.
I saw things like $500 a week. I've seen $750 a week. I've seen $950 a week if I needed extended time.
Prices that she couldn't afford to spend. So instead, she turned to her community for help.
Right now, I have a lady from my church babysitting him.
Now, Natasha works full-time and has a bachelor's degree, but she says she doesn't qualify for any subsidies the state offers.
Or if I was making what I make on a 10-month check, then I would qualify because I get paid for 12 months if I don't qualify.
Unfortunately, Natasha's situation is all too familiar, with the cost of childcare weighing down thousands of parents.
Parents are paying $6,000 to $19,000 per year per child. Childcare costs are higher than public college tuition in most states.
And the problem only intensifies for mothers without college degrees, where the employment gap between those with 4-year degrees and those without a degree has only gotten larger.
They've got to find a safe place for their kiddo, which probably is around hours and a price point that's hard to make sense of in terms of what jobs are willing to offer for them.
According to data put together by the United States Census Bureau back in 2022, the average cost for school-age home-based care is around $5,300. The average price for infant center-based care is just north of $17,000. I'm Geoff Harris reporting from Washington.
Jeff, thank you. Okay, now we're talking about traffic. Crews are really busy diverting and creating a diverging diamond interchange. I was just asking Jen, what is a diverging diamond interchange?
It's a rather complicated traffic pattern, but especially if you've never driven through one, but it can be very effective. Right now, what we're doing is we're taking a live look from our photojournalist, Kevin Mumphrey, who is at Donaldson Pike and I-40. This is right by the airport. And TDOT says that their new patterns, if you will, the new construction patterns as part of this diverging diamond should make it easier for people to get through that area. What you're seeing now is some of the cones that are still down, guiding people through this area. They're not going to be done with this until 2027. So if you have to be anywhere near Donaldson Pike and I-40, just know you're going to come up on this. Now, as for the diverging diamond, the exit when you get off of I-40 to go to Pigeon Forge and Dollywood, that is a diverging diamond. And as we send it over to Greg, we're going to talk a little bit more about it. The new interchange at I-24 at Hickory Hollow, where there's the new Tanger outlet, that's a diverging diamond. It's essentially where you have, you know, 2 lanes of traffic coming toward each other, and then the lanes shift across to the opposite side in order for you to be able to get off of your exit.
Well, listen.
It kind of creates like an X almost.
2027.
Yeah, that's a big project.
Okay.
Clearly, yeah. I mean, I remember back, you know, Midwest guy, small town, when we got a roundabout.
It's a big deal.
Whoa.
Big deal.
Took about
Huge.
6 years for the town to even use it. To like, we're not even going there. But let's talk BNA right now. Since we're talking about the airport and how things are looking here for flight times and any delays we might see on the big board. First of all, your forecast here at BNA, 61 degrees at 9 a.m., 71 at noon, 74 degrees at 3 p.m. Our temperature is going to be great. Right now we are overcast, a little damp pavement out there. We do have a few visibility issues that are trying to creep in. No dense fog right now. Just be mindful of that. So what does it say here? You get to the airport, you check the bag, you go through security, only 10 flight delays right now, and one of them is an international flight. So keep that in mind. Check the flight times here and get those alerts to your phone. That's going to be the best way you can. Just have your carrier just tell you, and it's even easier that way. 58 degrees right now at the airport, mainly overcast. The 3 big things to know today into tomorrow: scattered morning showers are coming to an end. We'll look at radar momentarily, and then clouds decrease this afternoon. Late tomorrow is our next weather maker. We're going to tackle all 3 of those in order coming up before we even get to 6 o'clock.
Steer clear traffic takes us to I-24 at Broadley Parkway. This is where you are taking a live look at that drive coming in from the south and east side. We're doing okay. We got one disabled tractor trailer right over there, not causing big delays, though. You can still get by it there without any issues. Overall drive times look like this: 29 minutes in from Mount Juliet, 55 from Murfreesboro, 27 minutes in from Franklin. We're doing okay so far. We'll continue to follow things out there on the roads for you.
Justin, thank you. Talking about consumer news now, and I know a lot of folks are getting ready for the summer vacation, making those plans. We do understand, though, and according to a new Bankrate survey, more than a third of folks plan to go into debt in order to take their summer vacation.
I feel like that just adds more stress to the vacation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got to go into debt to do it. A majority of travelers, though, do use credit cards for their expenses. Now, if you can pay your balance in full, then okay, because then you're not carrying the debt, and you're probably getting rewards from those cards. And that could be a great way to maybe earn a future trip. But they do caution against carrying a balance month to month. And the reason, y'all know this, the interest rates are absolutely astronomical. 2/3 of the people who are not going to travel this summer say it is because they can't afford it.
Staycations at home.
There you go.
There you go. Coming up, a new dog park is going to provide a spot for the city pooches to get their exercise, where you can go to check it out.
And a book club.
8% off store-wide. Save up to $300 on a new Microsoft laptop for mom. Plus, get up to 36 months free financing. Electronic Express. We make it happen.
Welcome back. 5:56 just about. Yep, there we go. Fox 17 News showing you a live look over on Lower Broadway. The beer trucks are getting ready, but listen, this Saturday around 7:20, thousands of runners are going to pack right here at the start line.
7:20 a.m. Saturday.
Yes.
Okay, and listen, before we get to Saturday for the St. Jude Marathon, Thursday night, Tim McGraw, Bridgestone Arena.
Yes.
Friday night, Preds, home matchup against the Canucks in the playoffs. Saturday, Rock and Roll St. Jude Marathon, and then Sunday, another Preds home matchup.
So you're saying we have a jam-packed weekend?
There's always something going on here in Music City.
This story is going to be good for the dog owners in Nashville. There is a new dog park for y'all to get out and enjoy.
Yeah, this is in Salem Town. We first told you about it yesterday, and now we're getting the visual because we had the ribbon cutting. This is the Central Dog Park on 3rd Avenue North, mentioning it's in Salem Town. Man, lots of fun little obstacle type things for the dogs to play on. This comes after a lot of community meetings with leaders and neighbors. They said this was something they really wanted, and it looks like it's already being put to good use.
I love how they have all the obstacles, for your point, Jen, but Waffles just wants to play with the people, never the dogs. We're going to check in now with our other dog lover. Are you going to take Obi?
Absolutely. I mean, it's one of those things where you are so right. You either watch your dog love the dogs, or the dog just goes,
I don't want the dogs.
And goes and gets pet by every person in the dog park. Taking a look here. Sookie just woke up. She's like, wait a minute, new dog park. So Heather, you live in Donaldson. You have the ability to get to that one pretty easily.
Look how cute.
So just keep that in mind. I love the ears. Just whoop. Good morning. Thank you for the picture here. We always love when you submit your dogs of the day. What's the dog walking forecast look like? We had some rain overnight, so wet paw pads and definitely going to have some wet pavement. Keep that in mind. Wet grass as well. But we're not going to see any additional rain in the areas where the rain has already stopped. That's good. Most of us here are already drying out as we speak. Temperatures are comfortable. Best morning so far this week. We're in the 50s to right around 60. We'll stay there all the way through 9 o'clock, and then we're right back into the middle 70s. Here's how you submit your dog of the day. Go to my Facebook page, meteorologist Greg Bobus. Find that pinned post at the top. Submit your dog. You can see your dog right here on Fox 17 News this morning.
Clear clear traffic takes us to I-65 Dickerson Pike north of downtown Nashville. We're rolling along pretty well up there. No big problems so far in that particular area. I can't tell you this area will look like a parking lot coming up here in about an hour or so. But right now, right this second, you're doing good. If you're the first person to open up the door in the morning, first person to put on the pot of coffee, you're in good shape getting out the door right now.
Well, Mother's Day is Sunday, May 12th. But before that, Fox 17 News doing our part to help you win some extra money for Mom by playing our Mother's Day Mania contest.
Yeah, so this starts Monday. We wanted to give you the heads up advance notice here because every day you could win a $100 prepaid debit card. All you have to do is get the question of the day answered correctly, and then you could win. Plus, Monday when this starts, every day that we have a $100 winner, that person will be entered to win the $5,000 weekly drawing. So again, that's the Mother's Day Mania Trivia Contest starting Monday right here only on Fox 17 News this morning.
There is a student-led volunteer program over in Chicago that has inmates and college students reading together at one of the country's largest jails.
Interesting concept here. A college senior and the club president bringing a van full of her DePaul University classmates to the Cook County Jail. And they take part in thought-provoking discussions as part of their book club there at the college. One of the inmates says that he enjoys reading, but it's his first time being part of a club like this.
Reading definitely helps you escape because sometimes this place can be chaotic and you'll just get caught up in a lot of stuff that's going on around here. And reading is just like that place to just bring you back down. You mellow you know, so you can relax, you know, it calms you, soothes you.
Well, the volunteer effort began years ago as part of a program with this particular university for the students and the prisoners to take classes for college credit. Stay with us. Our 6 o'clock hour is starting right now.
You're watching Fox 17 News this morning, your Code Red station.
Right now, 6 o'clock on the dot. The man you see here on your screen has now been identified as the man who was found on I-24 dead yesterday afternoon. Why police say a hit and run may have ended his life.
And after a teenager out on bond is charged with killing a man, lawmakers and community advocates are now calling for reform.
The controversial bill arming teachers and staff across Tennessee passed in the House. Coming up, I'll have reaction from lawmakers and tell you what went on inside the Capitol after the House passed that bill.
Thanks so much for joining us for Fox 17 News this morning. Glad to be here for you live through 9. I'm Jennifer Waddell.
And I'm Erica Glover. We're going to get started this Wednesday morning with an update from Metro Police, who tell us the body of a man found along I-24 north of town is that of a man reported missing by his sister.
This really had a huge impact to traffic yesterday afternoon, right around 2 o'clock. Officers making the discovery along I-24 right by Briley Parkway. This is in between Old Hickory Boulevard and Briley Parkway, as Erica mentioned, north of downtown. Police say that Terrence Williams is the man whose body was found and that his sister was on the phone with him last week when she said he abruptly hung up and said he was walking to get help after his car broke down. The sister never heard from him after that.
Yeah, police believe Williams is the victim of a hit and run. It's an ongoing investigation, so more updates to come.
The controversial bill that would allow teachers to carry in the classroom is now heading to Governor Bill Lee's desk after it passed both the House and the Senate.
This does come more than a year after the Covenant School shooting in Green Hills. Fox 17 News' Kieran Aguilar is joining us live right outside of the Capitol this morning to talk about the reaction and then the demonstrations that were inside the Capitol.
Good morning. Well, this has been an ongoing debate that has sparked opposition, protests, demonstrations, and vocal opposition. But once that bill passed in the House yesterday at the Capitol behind me, there was outrage. People were holding signs against the bill at the gallery, vocally protesting, and troopers escorted people out. Lawmakers for the bill say it would make schools safer, especially rural areas where they don't have access to school resource officers.
There's over 500 schools, public schools in the state of Tennessee that still do not have a school resource officer. This is just another tool that will allow some of those rural school districts to be able to qualify someone.
You're just going to have a tragedy where a teacher's left a gun unattended and some third grader's going to grab it and accidentally shoot himself or a classmate.
If Governor Bill Lee does sign that bill, then that means that schools will have to decide if they are going to enforce those policies on campus. We are working to find those answers, and once we do, we will have that information. Once we have that information, we will bring it to you. Reporting live for the Capitol, Kieran Aguilar, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Here we are at 6:03 and our rain is moving out of most of the area, but a couple of showers that are still out there. About 3 hours ago, we had the rain tracking through Nashville. Now we have the remnants of what was the rain. We have the wet pavement. A little bit of a visibility issue toward the north and the west of Nashville when it comes to a little light fog. There are no advisories out, nothing that you can't get through. Just know that it won't be crystal clear. Clouds trying to break up already in the Nashville area on north. A few of these little sprinkles, though, have developed behind this broken line of showers that's attempting to track out of here. We'll see a few more of these behind this line as they move away. So you mean you're looking at literally a good 5-6 minute shower with a couple of these in the Murfreesboro area. The few areas we have to watch, what I've done is put a track on this to get it out of the viewing area. Within the next 25 minutes, the shower over Crossville is completely out of here. Then it will just be these little residual showers that take us into about 8 o'clock this morning. It's light rainfall at best, doesn't last all that long, and we have no thunder or lightning. We've had none overnight, and that continues actually by the afternoon hours. Bright and sunny, 76 degrees. Really nice day ahead. Tonight, down to 50. We're dry. Your Thursday into Friday. Afternoon hours, evening hours, we're dry, but it's Thursday night into Friday. That'll be our next weather maker that we track, and the next look at your Code Red forecast.
Steer clear traffic at 6:05. Quick look outside. Let's get you to I-24 at Briley Parkway. Been watching a disabled tractor trailer right here for most of the morning. So far, no emergency crews, nothing like that, but it's not causing big delays either out there, and nothing is right now. We're doing really nicely so far. 31 minutes in from Mount Juliet, just over an hour now in from Murfreesboro, 29 minutes in from Hendersonville this morning. Curious to see how high we get coming in from Mount Juliet, or excuse me, from Murfreesboro this morning. 63 minutes so far. It could get to the 70s or even the 80s some mornings.
In Operation Crime and Justice now, lawmakers calling for change after a repeat offender out on bond for murder is now accused of another murder.
These kinds of cases are capturing the attention of our legislature now. Police say 19-year-old Adrian Cameron Jr. is one of 3 suspects in the shooting death of rapper Chris King. His legal name is Christopher Cheeks, but Cameron Jr. is still on the run. Officers believe Cameron Jr. and the other people who were with him tried to rob Chris King after he left a Midtown recording studio over the weekend. Cameron had been wearing an ankle monitor while he was waiting for trial in a 2021 murder.
Well, the DA's office says they're going to go ahead and revoke that bond once police are able to track him down. State Representative John Gillespie wants to see changes made, especially, he says, when it comes to juvenile murder suspects.
There are people out there that have common sense that would say the 15-year-old that just was accused of murdering 2 people and carjacking someone, that person's probably a pretty violent person and should be treated as an adult. But unfortunately, we don't all have common sense.
Well, he also says he has a few bills on this issue, including stricter pretrial monitoring.
A new law would put restrictions on who could.
Come see us at Batesville in Tennessee. We'll take anything that don't eat.
.09 is the time Tennessee lawmakers took on the issue of abortion trafficking on Tuesday. They want to ban anyone other than a parent from driving a pregnant teenager across state lines for an abortion. This caused lots of debate there on the House floor. Lawmakers who are for this say this bill is all about the parents' rights.
A few years ago, we would have thought ludicrous that adults would be taking children across state to get abortions at their most vulnerable time, that would be taking children across state lines to transition their gender. Those kind of things are completely out of bounds. And again, this piece of legislation reinforces parental rights by simply saying that if you are not the parent or guardian of a minor, you cannot facilitate an abortion for that child.
We cannot always count on parents doing the right thing. And you can come up with anecdotally some oh, well, they could ask for this or they could ask for this. But the reality is, it is incredibly difficult. And instead, this is doing nothing to protect children. This is actually harming children. Children understand who a trusted adult is. And sadly, sometimes it is not their parent.
Now, Democrats did propose a number of amendments to this bill, but they all failed. The United States Senate has now passed legislation that could potentially lead to the ban of the very popular sharing app TikTok. Now, the bill was part of a wide-ranging foreign aid package that the U.S. Senate approved last night. The legislation now heads on to President Biden's desk. He says he will sign it. TikTok, by the way, is owned by a Chinese company called ByteDance. Lawmakers say that the company gives information to the Chinese government and also has the potential to access the personal data of at least 170 million Americans. The bill passed yesterday, and it would force TikTok to find a brand new owner within months, or the United States will ban the use of TikTok across the entire country. TikTok is threatening to go to court if the president signs that bill. Well, speaking of bills, back here in Tennessee, there is a bill that certain flags cannot fly in Tennessee classrooms. However, that bill has died in the state Senate. Now, critics say that the bill targeted the pride flag in particular, since it allowed several other exceptions that would have violated the First Amendment. Now, if it had passed, all public schools as well as teachers would have had to comply by removing the flags from the school grounds. It failed by a vote of 13-6 in a Senate committee.
Coming up in your Cookeville forecast, still tracking a few light rain showers out on the radar, but there's a downtown look right now over Nissan Stadium. Clouds trying to break up when they'll finally get us back to some sunshine coming up in a few minutes.
I-40 at Spence Lane looking okay so far. If you're making that drive into town, we're going to have the very latest on your drive times, plus a aid.
Watch Crisis in the Classroom only on Fox 17 News.
His Fox 17 This Morning newscast is sponsored by Sarah Chevrolet Buick GMC of Nashville.
Making headlines this Wednesday morning is the Senate, which has passed a $95 billion foreign aid bill.
That bill passing in the Senate late last night following the House's approval of the package Saturday. This bill includes support and supplies for Ukraine, Israel, and Taiwan. Part of that legislation also sends $26 billion worth of wartime help to Israel, as well as humanitarian relief to Gaza. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer says a big reason this bill passed was because of bipartisanship.
And to the whole world, rest assured, America will never shrink from its responsibilities as a leader on the world stage.
Well, President Biden says he will sign the war aid bill as early as today and then immediately start the process of sending weapons to a struggling Ukraine in different areas there. Meanwhile, pro-Palestinian demonstrations continue to flare up at universities across the country. The video that you're looking at right behind me here is from the University of Minnesota. This was last night. Amid the ongoing protest, House Speaker Mike Johnson is also set to visit Columbia University. That is happening today. His office says that he's going to meet with Jewish students to speak about anti-Semitism. Pro-Palestinian protests have been rocking Columbia along with other major universities. Well, that school is now moving to hybrid classes until its September semester ends. That, I should say, is set for April 29th, which is next Monday.
There will be no court proceedings today in the trial for former President Trump. We understand that testimony in the trial will resume coming up tomorrow. Jurors, though, have heard testimony from the former National Enquirer executive David Pecker. According to the Associated Press, Mr. Pecker told the court that he volunteered to publish positive stories about Mr. Trump and negative stories about his opponents. He volunteered to do that. Court adjourned early yesterday afternoon for the Passover holiday.
We have some new developments to share as top 30 company Oracle is going to call Nashville not just a new base, but home base.
Interesting here because according to the Nashville Business Journal, Oracle's chairman and co-founder said yesterday at a speaking event, this was a healthcare industry summit in downtown Nashville, and he even said, well, maybe he shouldn't have let this slip, but he said that Oracle's Nashville location will be their, quote, global headquarters.
The software company has committed to sending over $1 billion on a 70-acre East Bank campus, including a pedestrian bridge over the Cumberland River. Now, we've been talking about Oracle for what feels like years now, correct?
Oh, at least 3 years, because we've known they were going to move to Nashville and build this huge campus on the river, but there hadn't been a lot of detail, if you will, as to what they would be doing here. So the co-founder let it slip yesterday.
World headquarters.
Saying world headquarters are coming to Nashville.
We're going to check in now on your Wednesday morning forecast. I just saw the sunrise. It's looking pretty good out there.
It is. I mean, compared to a couple hours ago, it was gloomy. Rain was coming down. You might have, if you woke up and heard it hitting the window, go, oh no, one of those mornings. No, we're okay. Rain ending as we speak. Taking a look right now at top of the radar. Mainly out just toward the Cumberland Plateau, seeing a few very broken up light rain showers that'll be out of here in the next 20 minutes. And then we work our way into some sunshine hour by hour. By late morning, we'll all be sunny, and you see the little bursts already through the clouds in the Nashville area. So what's new this morning? Yeah, we had the showers overnight. Rain begins to move out for everyone here. And then we have a great looking afternoon. High temperatures in the middle 70s. Changes to the weekend, but they're all good. But they are there. Taking a look, here's our downtown skyline, and yeah, things have gotten much better here over the course of the last 3 hours. Look at these numbers. Yeah, we're some 20 to 25 degrees warmer than yesterday morning at the exact same time. What does that mean for actual air temperature out there? 59 degrees right now in Nashville. We're all in the mid to upper 50s this morning. The one place showing off in the 60s, 61 at in Camden, I should say. On our way to the middle 70s this afternoon. We don't get there till about 2 or 3 o'clock though. So out the road this morning, not the coldest of days by any means, much better. 2 days ago, it was 20 degrees colder. We'll be at 61 across the board by 9 a.m. with clouds gradually breaking up. We'll take a look at your 7-day forecast and your weekend outlook coming up here in just a little bit. Just know that one change to the weekend, I'm not seeing as much rain for your Saturday, and we'll give you a little sneak peek right here. There it is, 83 on your Saturday, 85 on Sunday. I've taken the rain away from the morning and afternoon for the first half of our weekend.
Steer clear traffic takes us to the north side. Let's go to I-65 at Trinity Lane there on that north side. As you can see, traffic there doing okay, moving along, despite the fact we're getting some slowdowns there on that north side. So heads up on that as that slowdown is already getting started. You can try to use Ellington Parkway as a good way to try and steer clear of anything happening there. We're also following things coming in from Antioch, I-24 Bradley Parkway. There is the disabled tractor trailer on the shoulder. Again, though, not causing big delays. That drive still about an hour in from Murfreesboro to downtown Nashville. We'll take a look a little bit closer coming up in a few.
In Operation Crime and Justice, state lawmakers voted to amend a part of the Constitution on the books since the year Tennessee became a state.
This would give judges wider discretion to keep people who were accused of serious crimes in jail until trial. But it won't happen unless voters sign off. Fox 17 news anchor Scott Couch with the story.
The right to bail is one of the foundations of our justice system. Right now, Tennessee judges can only deny bail in capital murder cases, but it may not be that way much longer.
Senate Joint Resolution 919.
State Senate approved a resolution that would give our judges expanded discretion to deny bail. Those offenses include second-degree murder, child rape, and terrorism. The House took up that resolution today.
18 states that have this in their constitution. There are 8 states that allow no bond at all for these crimes that are enumerated here.
State Representative John Ray Clemens of Nashville is among those who are concerned.
Amending our state constitution, a provision of which has not been altered or amended since 1796, is simply not the answer. Taking people's liberty is a real issue. Because we have to remember that pre-trial people are what? Innocent until proven guilty.
But it is this argument from State Representative Kip Capley that carried the day.
You know who doesn't become a repeat offender? The one that stays in prison. Those people can't reoffend.
This resolution is moving forward, but changing the state constitution requires the next General Assembly to agree. And even then, the people will have the final say.
That was Fox 17 News' Scott Couch reporting there. If lawmakers say yes again next year, this question could be on a statewide ballot in 2026.
Still to come here on Fox 17 News this morning, Boeing now accused of retaliating against 2 engineers for pointing out the airline's problems.
And traces of bird flu found in milk, while the government claims it will not hurt you.
All right, plus a live look from Nashville. Gorgeous start.
Side where it belongs, not leaking into your home. Chim Chimney. Honest, dependable, affordable.
You're watching Fox 17 WZTV Nashville.
Right now, Fox 17 News is following breaking news updates regarding international headlines. It does appear leaders in Israel are getting ready for a ground operation over in southern Gaza. Now, Israel's military says they're deploying 2 reserve brigades for missions in Gaza. This comes just as Israel is reportedly getting ready for a ground invasion of the southern Gaza city of Rafah. More than half of Gaza's population of 2.3 million people are estimated to be sheltering in Rafah.
It is 6:25 right now. There's a labor complaint that now reveals allegations that Boeing retaliated against 2 of its engineers who blew the whistle.
Now, these employees at the time were working on behalf of the Federal Aviation Administration. They raised concerns about engineering work on Boeing's 777 and the 787 aircraft.
Boeing pushed back against redoing the work before agreeing to finally do it. And now a union representing Boeing engineers has filed a complaint saying the company retaliated against those 2 employees in their performance reviews.
Now, Boeing says that it investigated the situation, but its report could only be shared at this point with the FAA.
Oh boy, I have a feeling we have not heard the end of that one.
No.
Well, new this morning, the Food and Drug Administration, the FDA, says that bird flu has been found in milk sold in our grocery stores.
All right, the agency says it thinks the lab test detected pieces of the virus that were destroyed during pasteurization process there. That is when the milk is heated up briefly to try and kill any diseases inside that milk. Experts don't believe that the virus particles found in that milk could make people sick.
They don't think.
They don't think.
But also, they don't really know, which is why they're conducting more tests just to make sure. Consider this a heads-up warning. Yes, bird flu, because you might be wondering, well, how are we getting bird flu in our milk? Well, the bird flu jumped to dairy cows for the first time ever last month. So now we have dairy cows that are turning up sick with bird flu. That has now been confirmed in at least 8 states.
We'll see.
Yeah.
More testing.
All right, let's get a check of our forecast this morning. Greg is working on a few other details of your deep dive forecast. We're going to take a look at the school day, see how things are shaping up for you as you get your kids out the door, on the bus, or dropped off at school otherwise. First bell 59 degrees and mostly sunny, partly cloudy skies. After school today, if you have after school activities, maybe sports, or you're going to go for a jog or a walk yourself, outdoor activities should be good to go. 74 degrees after school.
Steer clear traffic takes us south and east of town. This is going to be I-24 near the Hickory Hollow Parkway exit there. As you can take a look and see traffic there moving along very, very well. Some slight slowdowns, but this is typical congestion for this time of the day. As a matter of fact, when we take a look at our drive times, everything running on schedule. 28 minutes in from Mount Juliet, 63 minutes in from Murfreesboro. That's about right. 31 minutes in from Hendersonville right now. All of these times, every single one of them will be going up over the course of the next hour or so.
Still to come here on Fox 17 News this morning in our 6:30 half hour, the former mayor of Millersville arrested overnight. We'll tell you what he's charged with this morning.
And a bill that has faced a lot of controversy would allow teachers to carry guns in the classroom.
You're watching Fox 17 WZTV Nashville. You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
6:31 right now. The road to the Stanley Cup. Highlights from the big road win for the Preds overnight and when you can see them play next.
And Fox 17 News following your beautiful Wednesday morning forecast. The showers, sprinkles really going away. We're going to talk about what's in store for this weekend too.
Steer clear traffic takes us to Vietnam Vets at Gallatin, Pike, in Sumner County. We're going to tell you about the latest drive times as you get out the door.
Thanks so much for starting your Wednesday with us here on Fox 17 News this morning. I'm Jennifer Waddell.
And I'm Erica Glover. We're going to get started this Wednesday morning with updates out of Millersville. New from Smoky Barn News, Millersville police say former Millersville Mayor Tim Lassiter has been arrested.
Yeah, police say that Mr. Lassiter got picked up at his home last night. He is now charged with 2 counts of document fraud. We are working to find out what exactly that means. We know that Mr. Lassiter stepped down as the mayor of Millersville in 2022 after 10 years in the position. But his arrest also comes after the Millersville fire chief got fired and all but one of the firefighters quit back in February.
In crisis in the classroom, the controversial bill that would arm teachers and staff inside of our public schools is now heading to Governor Bill Lee's desk after it passed the House and the Senate yesterday.
And this comes more than a year after the Covenant school shooting. Fox 17 News reporter Karen Aguilar joins us with the updates.
The decision to pass the bill comes a year after the Covenant school shooting, but even a Covenant school mother was against it. Some lawmakers felt that the bill would make schools safer, especially in rural areas where there aren't any school resource officers. But after the House passed that bill yesterday at the Capitol behind me, there was outrage. You saw students, parents, and community members holding signs against the bill at the gallery. There were demonstrations and vocal opposition, which resulted in troopers escorting people out.
Embarrassed for the GOP supermajority, and on top of that, they use police authority to drag children and mothers out of the gallery. It's embarrassing for our state.
There's over 500 schools, public schools in the state of Tennessee that still do not have a school resource officer. This is just another tool that will allow some of those rural school districts to be able to qualify someone.
The bill still needs to be signed by Governor Bill Lee. If he does sign the bill, the question is, will schools enforce those new policies? We are working to find out those answers. Reporting in front of the Capitol, Karen Aguilar, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
6:33, rain ending in the Nashville area, sun trying to poke through the clouds, and slowly it will continue to do that. But if you get down to the south and east, still a few more lingering showers exiting Murfreesboro, getting another round moving toward the McMinnville area up through Crossville. This is the end of the rain. When this is out of here in an hour, we'll be good to go for the rest of today. And we're all aiming for the 70s later. So what are the 3 big parts to our weather story? The showers that are moving out. We're back to the 80s soon. We're not there today, but by the weekend we'll have 4 days in a row, Friday through Monday. We're finding weekend rain chances. They are still there, but they have changed drastically depending upon what day you have plans. That will either make you happy or it might make you a little more concerned for what you have outdoors. And we'll make sure we work through it on future track. But right now, 59 degrees. You can even see over downtown a little bit of blue sky trying to poke through. So it's going to be one of those days where it starts off a little gloomy and ends beautifully. This is actually a really good start compared to earlier in the week. We have temperatures across the board that are in the 50s right now. And look at your 7-day forecast. Piecing everything together here when we get ourselves toward the weekend. We're done with the rain after this morning until we get towards sunset tomorrow. A few showers move in after midnight on Thursday for most of us. They will linger through noon on Friday. So a very similar setup where the rain begins at night and ends late morning this time as opposed to earlier in the morning. So plan on rain for the first half of your Friday. However, we have the Preds at home, their first home playoff game of the season, and we've got that forecast for you. It's looking okay. And this is the big change. Saturday morning, I've taken the rain out of the forecast. The Rock and Roll Marathon. Yeah, we'll look at that forecast as well, coming up in just about 10 minutes.
Steer clear traffic takes us to the north side of town. This is going to be Vietnam Vets at Gallatin, Pike, and Sumner County. Traffic there moving along very nicely. No big slowdowns up there in Sumner County as of yet. No big slowdowns almost anywhere other than that typical drive down I-24, which we expect this time of the day. But we're off to a great start if you're getting out there this morning. Just the normal slowdown spots on places like 65 and 24. We're going to let you know about any crashes that do pop up, anything that could slow you down. But right now, we're doing pretty good.
Justin, thank you. Hey, high fives all around as the Nashville Predators own the playoff ice late last night. Preds pulling off a 4-1 victory over the Canucks, and they end up the series at 1 game each.
Yeah, so this is a great spot to be as we're coming home now. The Canucks backup goalie in the net after their starting goalie was injured. So a real benefit to the Preds. Just a minute in, they took advantage. Philip Forsberg and Anthony Beauvillier team it up to send it in. A tough hit in the second period. Cole Smith gets hit hard and then nicked in the face with another guy's skate. Man, that is just, I mean, that's hockey, I guess you could say. Thankfully, he's okay. He stayed in the game.
And although the Canucks did get a goal in, Preds ultimately locking down the 4-1 win. Home crowds are going to welcome the team back to Smashville for Game 3, 6:30 Friday evening, and then Game 4 Sunday afternoon.
That's right. And then wedged in between those two is going to be the St. Jude Marathon Saturday.
A lot going on.
Yeah, busy weekend in Nashville for sure. But here's your chance to see the Preds playoff action live at Bridgestone Arena. Fox 17 News going to give you some tickets. If you scan the QR code right here on your screen, what you do is you open up your camera phone, you hold it up there, it gives you a link, you click the link, you register, you can get entered to win. You're either going to get the Preds playoff game tickets for Game 3 or Game 4 at Bridgestone Arena coming up either this Friday or this Sunday. There might be data rates that apply. If you would like the complete contest rules, just head to fox17.com and good luck.
Ahead on Fox 17 News this Wednesday morning, the Supreme Court is going to take on a big case with implications for Tennessee. The legal debate over when hospitals must perform emergency abortions.
Still to come on Fox 17 News this morning, looking ahead to our 7 o'clock.
No payments for 24 months. Window Nation, the perfect fit.
Watch Crisis in the Classroom only on Fox 17 News.
Welcome back to Fox 17 News this morning. Time right now is 6:40, and the U.S. Supreme Court is expected to consider when doctors could perform an emergency abortion in states where the procedure is banned.
Now, justices will be taking up this case in places like Idaho, which bans abortions in all stages of pregnancies with restricted exceptions. Tennessee law is structured in a very similar way. Now, Idaho is arguing that the Biden administration is misusing the federal health care law meant to ensure that patients aren't sent away regardless of their means to pay.
A federal health care law does say that hospitals should be allowed to terminate a pregnancy in emergency. So again, we have the Supreme Court taking up this issue. We'll monitor the results.
Well, here is some news for sure. The Federal Trade Commission has voted to ban non-compete clauses in employment contracts. It's a major move that experts say could be challenged in court.
Now, and this impacts all different industries. About 1 out of every 5 employees are currently somehow restricted by a non-compete in America. Now, in other words, and just simply put here, these non-competes state that if you leave your current job, you could not then go work in a similar industry, perhaps in a certain region
Yeah.
for a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
And so, there are so many who have said that that's not legal. You shouldn't be able to do that. So we'll monitor to see how this moves forward. But that would be, as Justin said, a huge move.
Yeah, some people have said that the FTC does not have the authority to do this and said Congress would need to pass something. However, the whole thing is expected to go to court. And for instance, the United States Chamber of Commerce has threatened to sue to try and block this particular rule change. We'll see what they say.
6:42, quick check of your forecast here on Future Tracking. The rain out of here this morning, and the rest of the day looks great. Sunshine as early as 9 o'clock for just about everyone. A few of us already working into some sunshine in the forecast. We're clear the rest of this afternoon. We're clear tonight and tomorrow morning. The next weather maker moves in after 4 p.m. tomorrow. Most of us don't see any rain until after midnight, and then showers will linger through about noon on Friday. So rain done after 9 a.m. today. Rain tomorrow night through the first half of your Friday, and then we're good to go for the rest of the day and also your Saturday. So, curious question today. You all ready?
Okay, here we go.
What does the word spam stand for? Okay, simple ham, spice ham, sliced ham, or special ham? We'll have the answer coming up for you in the next check of the forecast.
All right, Greg, thank you so much. Let's take a look at your steer clear traffic as you get out there this morning. This is going to be I-40 at Donaldson Pike, very close to the airport out there. Traffic moving along without issue. It's doing okay. You are going to start to run into your slow spots as you get out and about in certain areas. The closer you get to 440, the closer you get to downtown, that's where you're going to start to run into some slowdowns. So heads up on that. We'll continue to watch things out there for you live and local through 9.
And right now, the NFL draft. Man, everybody's getting excited for tomorrow. We're going to tell you who the Titans are hoping to get in the first round.
Also coming up,
yeah.
Come on, baby. Come on.
Tonight at 7 on Fox 17.
That's our gridiron music. When you hear that, you know we're about to talk Titans. The NFL draft does start tomorrow. Stakes pretty high here, especially for the first-year head coach, Brian Callahan.
The team has a 7th overall pick. Right now, though, Fox 17 sports director Jill Jelnick has more on who the Titans will target in the first round.
The Tennessee Titans had a lot of needs going into this offseason, but none bigger than left tackle. The majority of draft experts have the Titans selecting a lineman in the first round of the NFL draft. And the good news is both general manager Ryan Carthon and head coach Brian Callahan believe this is a draft class that is deep with offensive line talent. Carthon also noted that besides looking at the typical size and speed of linemen, they also look at scheme. A lot of college offenses these days have started to shift back to a pro-style offense, and that's something the Titans evaluate when they're looking at the tape and looking out for their future offensive linemen.
We were looking at the numbers yesterday. The numbers are pretty consistent. The O-line is a little deeper for us, in particular, and I think a lot of it has to do with what you're doing schematically and how these different players fit into your scheme. There was a time where college offenses were pro-style offenses, and then it kind of went more spread, and you're starting to see a little bit more of the pro concepts coming back. So you have a little bit more guys that fit, right into what you want to do.
Just from my point of view, it's a bunch of good players. There's it's probably more offensive linemen than there's been in past classes. This feels deep in terms of the talent that's available. And the same thing with the receivers. I think the receiver classes are pretty similar these days, where you're going to have a handful of high-end talent that's probably going to go in the higher parts of the rounds, and there's going to be some depth in the class that's got a lot of different options for what you're looking for in a receiver.
Of course, offensive lineman and receiver, the two biggest needs for the Titans, but you can't forget about the defense. Coach Callahan also mentioning how their scout team, they're challenging that team to look for defensive studs in those 5th, 6th, and 7th rounds. Those are the rounds that they hope to separate themselves and have an advantage when it comes to finding those talented players. NFL draft this Thursday, 7 p.m. start for the first round, and as always, Fox 17 will have you covered. Reporting from the Titans practice facility, Jill Jelnick, Fox 17 Sports, your Code Red station.
Jill, thank you. From the Titans to the Gators. Well, I guess you could say it's another day, another story from, you guessed it, Florida, where we've got another run-in with a gator.
The Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission responding when an alligator ends up on the runway over at an Air Force base.
This is MacDill Air Force Base right there in Tampa, posting video of the big, man, that one is big. They wrangled the gator. The Fish and Wildlife Commission thinks that it came out of its home, its territory, because it got pushed out. Apparently, listen, guys, this is a turf war. There was a turf war between two gators. This guy and a bigger gator named Elvis.
Oh.
Elvis won because Elvis kicked out this gator whose name we don't know.
This is a big boy.
It is. So imagine the bigger one that kicked it out of the water.
Well, unlike yesterday's video,
everyone has on shoes?
They have shoes on, which I think makes it easier when you're wrangling a gator.
Oh my gosh. You just never know. And hashtag Florida.
Hey, Greg, earlier you mentioned all the things that are going on this weekend. Also in Franklin, their Main Street Festival is on Saturday, so they're going to have fantastic weather.
I have a forecast for that in 5 minutes.
Oh,
I'm not even kidding.
oh, good. I'm reading you.
So we'll take a look and just make sure they know what's going on. But right now we're talking spam.
All right.
Curious question.
Hit us with
and
it,
a
Greg.
lot of you at home are going to go, no, it's this. You're wrong. And then I'm going to knowledge bomb you like I did yesterday.
Oh my
okay?
gosh, Greg. Okay, so I first told Greg right when we went to break after he had the question, the way that I knew spam growing up was none of these answers.
I know.
So
Absolutely.
we always knew spam stood for specially processed American meat. Now that's just what we knew, not to say that that's right or wrong.
I'm going with D.
You're going with D.
Special ham.
All right, so here's a little quick 10-second history lesson. It is B, spice or spiced ham. Before it became spam, Hormel, the company that still owns it, it was Hormel spiced ham.
Oh.
They abbreviated it, and that's according to the USDA. That is the official term of why they abbreviated it.
Do you like spam?
I'm calling my mama.
Mama's gonna be mad at me. A lot of people at home are too, because we all knew it the way you did.
I've been led astray my whole life.
So that is, according to Ask USDA, which is the government website, that is the official abbreviation
I believe you, Greg.
of spam. Sookie's like, no, it's not. It's just delicious. Gonna have some.
Sookie.
Taking a look at our dog of the day here, sent in by Heather Montgomery Riddle. Thank you for the photo. Send in your dog of the day. We show them every hour here. Every day we have good weather. And get walking. We look really nice. Temperatures right now are in the 50s to right near 60. 65 degrees at 10 a.m. A nice forecast from start to finish. Here's your 7-day. We'll be at 76 degrees. Rain is moving out. Sun is taking over. A nice afternoon, and clouds will be all the way out of here by lunchtime. 50 overnight tonight, 75 degrees tomorrow. And then we'll look ahead to some weekend events here. And again, about 4 minutes from right now.
Weather Window, presented by the National Weather Desk. This time-lapse shows the full pink moon rising Tuesday evening over Portland Harbor in Maine. Turns out sunset and moonrise happened at the same time at 7:34 p.m. A recent daybreak in fiery fashion near Bristol, which has twin cities in Virginia and Tennessee. And this swatch captured in a carpet of blue-eyed Mary flowers near Ohio's Sunfish Creek. These annuals bloom from mid-April to early May.
Steer clear traffic gets us out the door at I-65 at Boers Lane. This is down in the Franklin area. If you're making that drive in or out of Franklin or Brentwood down through Cool Springs, you're doing really nice so far this morning in both directions. No big problems down here in the Franklin area. We're doing okay making that drive around Cool Springs. So where are the trouble spots? Well, let me show it to you here on the drive times. First of all, in from Franklin, you're doing fine at 32 minutes. Murfreesboro has turned into our trouble spot this morning, 77 minutes in right now from Murfreesboro to Nashville on that trip down I-24, 38 minutes up the Vietnam Veterans area there from Hendersonville into downtown. Keep in mind, a lot of these times could fluctuate as the morning goes on, but no major accidents right now to tell you about.
Justin, thank you. We're talking about overtime pay because the Biden administration announced a new rule just yesterday that is going to make millions more salaried workers qualify for overtime pay.
Interesting. Here, salaried workers, okay, not hourly. This rule raises the salary threshold that is required to exempt salaried employees from overtime pay requirements. So, starting July 1st of this year, that threshold will increase to the equivalent of an annual salary of just under $44,000. Then, coming up January 1st of next year, that threshold increases again to a salary of more than $58,000. The Department of Labor estimates that about 4 million more workers will now qualify for overtime when that rule is finally in place. Business groups that obviously are going to have to pay for this are expected to challenge the ruling.
Coming up on Fox 17 News, would you tell your parents when you're going out on a date as an adult? Okay, there's the question. For those who are comfortable with that and say yes, there's a new safety tool from a popular dating app.
And coming up in our 7 o'clock hour right here on Fox.
During the Customer Appreciation Sales Event at Matthews Nissan. Get 2.9% for 60 months on a new Pathfinder or Altima. Plus, get a lifetime warranty. MatthewsNissan.com.
Hey there, right now Fox 17 News showing you a live look of the Wednesday morning forecast out there. Listen, Wednesday morning forecast, Wednesday morning sunrise. Y'all know what I mean. The sun is just starting to peek out. This is a live look over on Metro Center. Our Fox 17 News Code Red meteorologist Greg Bobus is tracking a beautiful weekend. He's going to give you the full forecast, 80s. So sunblock going to be necessary for this weekend.
All right. Here's a question for you. Would you tell your parents about the date you're about to go on if you're an adult? Well, there's a new feature from the dating app Tinder that would let you do that in the name of safety. Now listen, you could call your parents at any time and say, hey, I'm going out on a date in case something happens to me. This is what you need to know.
Yeah.
But again, this is some new feature within the dating app.
Yeah, they have announced that they're launching a new feature called Share My Date. It is going to allow users to share details about their date to friends and family members through a link. And yes, that even includes your parents. The information will include the date, the time, and location of the meeting, as well as the match's photo. Users will also be able to edit the information just in case there is some kind of last-minute date change. The feature is going to be rolled out here in the U.S. and then over to a dozen other countries in the coming months.
Okay, that's fine. But my question is, again, why do you have to put all that personal information in the app and then send a link when you could just text or call your people?
Well, that makes me think, too. Again, I'm not using these apps. Thankfully, we don't have to worry about that right
goodness.
now. But does that mean that my mom has to have Tinder to get the link?
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, that's a good question.
They're just
please
complicating
no.
it. Technology is just complicating it.
Just
call or text your friends and family and say, this is where I'm going, this is who I'm going with, and this is when I'll be there.
Or just share your location on your phone.
I do like sharing a photo, though, just in case.
Sure.
Of the person.
I don't know.
Extra
My point
security
is
is good.
like technology in the app just wants more of your information.
Don't like it. What I do like is this, though. Take a look at that. As promised, we have our forecast for the Main Street Festival in Franklin, and boy, does it look good. The 27th and 28th, warm days, breezy for Saturday, mainly dry both days. I'll tell you, we're dry for sure on Saturday. Sunday, a pop-up shower. Don't let it scare you away. It's not going to be a washout by any means. Just watch the radar. Get the Fox 17 Code Red weather app. You can follow along with us in real time.
Right now, we're checking in for your Steer Clear traffic updates out there. We're going to take you over to Rutherford County and give you this live look for you. I-24 over at Walden Road. And the good news is we're not seeing any kind of slowdowns here. No crashes, no disabled vehicles. We always want to share that kind of update. Just be mindful of that typical Wednesday morning commute traffic. We'll continue sharing all of your Steer Clear traffic updates, though, throughout 9 a.m.
Hey, could you use a little extra cash in your wallet for Mother's Day?
Yeah.
We've got you covered. We have our Mother's Day Mania Trivia Contest starting Monday right here on Fox 17 News this morning.
I could use that money to buy some diapers. We are giving away a $100 prepaid debit gift card every day. So starting Monday on Fox 17 News, watch this morning, wake up with us to learn more about the Mother's Day Mania contest. If you get the question right, you could be eligible to win the daily $100 prize and be entered for a chance to win the $5,000 weekly drawing.
All right, so make sure you're watching Monday morning when you wake up bright and early. We'll tell you how you can get involved. We'll give you a QR code that you can scan, and we wish you all the best of luck. This morning, the Olympic rings have now been unveiled in Paris. The white rings, obviously the iconic symbol of the Olympics, now being shown off at Terminal 1 at the Charles de Gaulle Airport. That's ahead of this summer's games. The airport, of course, will be welcoming all the delegations that are traveling to Paris for the upcoming Summer Olympics. The president of this Summer Olympics says that France is ready to welcome the world to the City of Lights.
You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
Now on Fox 17 News this Wednesday morning, suspects of violent crimes being allowed out on bond and then re-offending. And police say a rapper was killed in Nashville by a teenager who was out on bond for murder. Plus, a bill to arm teachers making its way to the governor's desk. Fox 17 News covering the heated debates at our Capitol. Thanks so much for joining us here on Fox 17 News this morning. I'm Erica Glover.
And I'm Jennifer Waddell. We're glad to be your live local news source, always here for you through 9 a.m. We begin our 7 o'clock hour right now with developing updates as Metro Police now confirm the body of a man found along I-24 north of Nashville, right near Briley Parkway, is that of a man reported missing by his sister. Police confirm Terrence Williams' body was found down a hill off the interstate yesterday. Now, they also tell us that his sister had been on the phone with him last week when he abruptly hung up while he said he was walking to get help after his car broke down. Well, officers found his body yesterday and what they believe to be his car on I-24 right near Briley Parkway. So if you got stuck in the hours worth of traffic on I-24 yesterday between Nashville and Jolton, this was the reason. Police say that Williams' sister believes that he might have actually been the victim of a hit and run, and that his car and his body may have been there for about a week. The investigation continues this morning.
Well, new this Wednesday morning, the bill allowing trained teachers to go ahead and carry a firearm on campus passed the House and the Senate, and now it's making its way to the governor's desk. Protests and rallies at the Capitol, though, certainly heating up. Fox 17 News reporter Peyton Muse is going to share some live reporting coming up in about 10 minutes.
It's unacceptable. We are failing the public.
And Operation Crime and Justice right now calls for change after a repeat offender out on bond for murder is now accused in another killing. Police say 19-year-old Adrian Cameron Jr. is one of 3 people suspected in the shooting death of California rapper Chris King. It happened here in Nashville. Cameron is still on the run. Officers believe that he and the others tried to rob King after he left a Midtown recording studio over the weekend. Cameron, by the way, had been wearing an ankle monitor while waiting trial for a 2021 murder. Data from that monitor shows that it got cut off right around the time of Saturday's deadly shooting. The DA's office says they will revoke his bond once police find him.
Well, friends of rapper Chris King, who also goes by Christopher Cheeks, are mourning his loss after police say he was killed over the weekend in Nashville.
Right, so diving more into this story now is Fox 17 News reporter Karen Aguilar joining us live to tell us more about the artist, what his friends are saying as police continue to search for the killer.
Good morning. His best friend, Maynard Asip, says that he is still in shock after police say Chris was found right here in this parking garage behind me of the Hay Street Hotel after being shot by suspect Adrian Cameron and later died. Asip tells me the best thing to do is to remember who Chris was. A passionate artist that would have wanted his legacy to live on. He was originally from California with connections to big names like Justin Bieber and Machine Gun Kelly. Asip says Chris was in Nashville over the weekend to perform and to go to Canna Festival when he was shot and killed. Asip was supposed to go with him, but didn't. Police say the suspect was already out on bond when he committed the crime, leaving a void that will be very hard to fill.
Definitely anger. Yeah. I mean, when it comes to something like that, I feel like we're not ready to process anything like that, like a death from a friend or a family member, and especially how it was taken. He didn't deserve to be shot. He didn't deserve anything like that.
Again, police say the suspect is still not in custody. Reporting live from downtown, Karen Aguilar, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
7:04, looking at the forecast overnight, we had some rain, so you're waking up here in many areas where we're drying out, but you have some wet pavement out there. Keep that in mind. Been monitoring for fog, not much crept up, and now we're basically good to go for the rest of this morning. And sun's starting to come back out. Right side of your screen, we have temperatures that are hovering right near 60. Rain is beginning to move out for all of us. Cumberland Plateau, a few more light little sprinkles. Give it an hour or two and we're okay for the rest of the day. No additional rainfall. Afternoon, sunny and comfortable. Changes to the weekend forecast. We're all clear for code red into and out of the upcoming weekend, which means not a lot of rain, which also means that we have allergies to deal with. Once again, trees, severe category. Grass, high category, and mold down just a touch from last week, but not much better. And you can see allergies still in the medium to high category all the way into and out of the upcoming weekend. What do temperatures do for us? Well, they treat us pretty well. Middle 70s today and tomorrow, 80s on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. You can see it says scattered showers for Friday. We'll have that timeline for you on Future Track coming up in the next look at your forecast.
All right, everyone, let's go with Steer Clear traffic. I want to give you an update on something we were following there. This is going to be on I-40. That's at Spence Lane, just east of downtown. TDOT has arrived to deal with the crash there on the shoulder that is slowing things down in a significant way as you make that drive out of the Hermitage, Donaldson area, anywhere east of the airport. We're talking to you. This could cause you some slowdowns. So the best thing to do is steer clear. Use Elm Hill Pike, use Lebanon Pike. That's going to help you get past some of that congestion there until they're able to get this crash out of the way and all lanes can be reopened. This is also going to make effects coming in from other areas of town, including here. This is 24 Waldron Road coming in from Rutherford County. We're going to give you the detailed information about this in just a few.
Justin, thank you. 7:06 is your time right now. A new law would put restrictions on who could drive a minor, a teenager, out of state for an abortion. We're going to bring you both sides of the debate in minutes.
And also coming up on Fox 17 News this morning, we're going to have an update after months.
This Fox 17 This Morning newscast is sponsored by Tennessee Home Buyers.
7:09 is the time. Tennessee lawmakers took on the issue of abortion trafficking. They did that Tuesday. They want to ban anyone other than a parent from driving a pregnant teen across state lines for an abortion. Now, this caused some debate on the House floor. Some Democratic representatives want to make changes to that bill with an amendment. Republicans, they weren't going for it.
I filed this amendment. It's going to rename this bill Tennessee Forcing Babies to Have Babies Act, because that's exactly what this legislation will do, as well as us voting in one of the most extreme abortion ban in this country.
My wife's a teacher. Last year, she could not take a child who was 16 to get their arm treated. It was broken. They had to wait for the parent to sign. You are not allowed as an adult who is not the parent or guardian of a minor to take them to the hospital and sign off on any procedure.
Now, this particular piece of legislation did pass, but coming up in our 8 o'clock hour, things got a little heated when one of the representatives felt like she was not being fully heard. We're going to show you that moment coming up in a few. Other news this morning from the Tennessee legislator. There is a bill to ban certain flags in Tennessee from the classroom. Well, it did not pass. It died in the state Senate. That bill would allow only the flags of the state of Tennessee and the United States of America to be displayed in public school classrooms. Critics say it targets in particular the pride flag, since it allows several other exemptions that would have violated the First Amendment. Others are arguing there needs to be a limit to what can and cannot be hung in the classroom. If it did pass, all public schools, as well as the teachers, would have to comply, but it did not. It failed in a Senate committee 13-6.
We love you and we miss you and we want you to come home. And just know that we all care about you so much.
I just think as a community, we're all concerned.
Fox 17 News continues to track the search for Sebastian Rogers. He disappeared from his home 2 months ago in Sumner County. This morning, Beach High School students are leading an effort to try and keep the search going for their missing classmate. They're asking everyone to support their effort by wearing green. That is Sebastian's favorite color. His father also launched an online petition urging the FBI to take over the investigation. The Sumner County Sheriff's Office says they are not giving up yet for the 15-year-old teenager who has autism.
And coming up next in your Code Red forecast, we're tracking rain out of the area right now. A few light rain showers still on top of the radar. We'll see our next weather maker into the upcoming weekend.
Steer clear traffic takes us to I-40 at Spence Lane. We were just dealing with a crash here a short time ago. Looks like they've been able to move it out of the way. We're going to give you an update coming up in just a few. And the move to allow teachers to have guns in the classroom led to a heated debate. We're going to share
in spades, backed with a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited warranty. Lease a new 2024 Sportage LX for $279 a month.
Welcome back. Just about 7:15 and new this Wednesday morning, a bill allowing school staff to voluntarily carry a handgun on campus is making its way to Governor Bill Lee's desk.
Fox 17 News reporter Peyton Hughes joining us live this morning right outside the Capitol with reaction.
Good morning, Jen and Erica. Now, a heated debate on the House floor yesterday. Emotions ran high with nearly 2/3 of lawmakers moving to make this law.
A parent of two students who survived the 1999 Columbine High School massacre, Ted Zacco Hochhalter, sits down with Fox 17 News over Zoom. This comes a year after the Covenant School mass shooting and 25 years since Columbine.
My daughter was outside eating lunch when she was shot, and that she was shot critically wounded and paralyzed from the waist down as a result.
His son hiding in his science classroom for hours, thankfully left unharmed physically. Ted retired from emergency management and now advocates for safer schools. He says arming school staff is a knee-jerk reaction.
I'm not anti-gun, but I just don't see the benefit of adding more schools into, or more guns, into a what can be very chaotic situation.
Under Tennessee's plan, the director of schools and police would know who's carrying on campus. Each person would have to undergo 40 hours of training and a mental evaluation. Supporters say it's an added layer of protection.
To be able to carry a concealed weapon with the idea of protecting those students who may be trapped, as well as creating what currently does not exist in Tennessee, and that is a deterrent as it relates to our schools.
Now, this bill sits on Governor Lee's desk, and for more information, head over to our website at fox17.com. Reporting live near the Capitol, Peyton Hughes, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Peyton, thank you. We do want to check in now and get that Wednesday forecast. More sunshine?
We're getting there. We're getting there, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say late morning into the afternoon we'll all be there. A few of us still working through a few showers, but sun trying to come out in the Nashville area. Overall, a really good day. Just starting off this morning. It was a little on the gloomier side. We did have some rain overnight, but you can see where the last of our showers are for this morning. This really is the back edge of this system. If you're in Nashville, you're done for the day. If you're in Murfreesboro, you're just about done for the day. Everyone west of 65, we are done with the rain for today, and temperatures are starting off great. What I'm going to do right now is take the back edge of these last showers here and track them in real time for how quickly they're moving. So the back edge of the rain moves into Morrison, Centertown. We get towards Spring Hill in about the next, I would say, 15, 20 minutes. Then you'll have another 15 minutes worth of rain, and then you're done. So what you can see here is about an hour or so, I would say by 9 o'clock for sure, we're all done with the rain here. That includes everyone out in the Cumberland Plateau. Taking a look, 59 current temperature in Nashville, 59 also in Columbia and Lewisburg, 58 degrees in Lebanon. Good start. We're about 20 degrees warmer than 48 hours ago. What does this mean for your drive out the door here this morning? Well, rain has been coming to an end. Still some wet pavement in some areas. Temperatures are in the 50s, but you get sunshine later. So the morning drive, just watch out for, again, a couple puddles here and there. But the afternoon should be smooth sailing as far as weather is concerned. Getting you home later today when the kids get home from school, we'll be at 76 degrees and mainly sunny. 75, great day tomorrow. But there is still some rain Thursday night into Friday. We'll time when it arrives and how quickly it gets out of here on Friday. Coming up in your Code Red forecast in about 6 minutes.
All right, everyone, let's try to get to your steer clear traffic. Boy, do we have a lot to share with you. Let's get to I-40 at Spence Lane. This is just east of downtown Nashville. We're doing just, we're okay, maybe. We've got a crash that we had a little bit earlier on the shoulder here at I-40 at Spence Lane. Looks like they've been able to move it out of the way, but there's still a lot of backup in this area because of that earlier crash. It's going to take some time for it to work itself out. So keep that in mind. They're on that east side. Here's 24 Waldron Road coming in from Rutherford County, also extremely slow. Let me show you the drive times because that's the more startling thing than actual accidents here. Mount Juliet at 47 minutes, Murfreesboro about an hour and a half right now, Hendersonville at 38 minutes and rising. That Murfreesboro time means if you left Murfreesboro now, you would get to Nashville downtown around 8:50, 8:45.
Justin, thanks. 719, Operation Crime and Justice right now. We have state lawmakers who have opened the door to amend a part of our state constitution that's been on the books since 1796. That is the year our state was founded.
Well, it would give Tennessee judges wider discretion to keep people accused of serious crimes in jail until trial. Those offenses include second-degree murder, child rape, and also terrorism. Right now, though, judges can only deny bail in capital murder cases. By the way, the House passed this particular resolution yesterday.
If it was the answer, that provision would not have remained intact since 1796.
You know who doesn't become a repeat offender? The one that stays in prison. Those people can't reoffend.
So the state Senate did pass the bill as well. Amending our Constitution, though, is a complicated process. It requires the next session of the legislature to pass the resolution as well. If they were to do that, it would then go on the ballot for a public vote in 2026. That's where the people would have the final say.
After the break, we're going to take you to the White House. We're getting some more updates regarding aid to 3 countries. What you need to know.
The Preds.
A month. Cars, SUVs, trucks, vans are all in stock. Drive KBB.com's best value brand now with payments from $239 a month. Search your local Honda dealer today.
We have breaking news this Wednesday morning from our nation's capital. We're going to show you a live look from the White House as we also let you know more about President Biden, as he says that he's going to be signing the foreign aid bill as soon as it reaches his desk today. Yeah, the Senate passing the bipartisan bill last night, approving a whopping $95.3 billion package for Israel, Ukraine, and also Taiwan. In a statement, President Biden says that the need to get this aid to America's allies is urgent. The president also says this legislation is going to help people impacted by conflicts in Gaza, Sudan, and also Haiti.
Erica, thank you. Let's get to some sports headlines. The Preds pull off a road win last night playing the Vancouver Canucks, and so now the series is tied at 1.
So we pick up the action in the second period. That's when the Preds are already leading 1-0 until Philip Forsberg says Scoresberg gets it into the goal right there. That makes it 2-0 Preds. Later on, Colton Sissons picks up a rebound there, puts the biscuit in the basket. 3-0 now Preds. Vancouver would add a goal later, but it doesn't matter. They win the game. The Predators do. 4-1 final score out there. Big story in this game, Jen. Hours before they dropped the puck there in Vancouver, Vancouver ruled their starting goaltender out of the game.
Yeah, it's interesting too. So he's had some previous injuries, but the Canucks came out and said it doesn't have anything to do with that. Like he had a previous knee injury.
Okay.
And now they're ruling him game to game, which means there's a possibility that starting goalie for the Canucks also might not play when they come to Nashville.
Maybe.
So we're going to monitor that. They said he's kind of day to day, game to game. And they do come back to play at home this Friday, 6:30 p.m. And then we've got another home matchup coming up Sunday.
Home ice advantage now for the Preds. And there is a chance for you to add to that home ice advantage. If you want to cheer on your Nashville Predators at Bridgestone Arena, you can do so by scanning that QR code right there on your screen. That'll take you to our contest. You can also go to the website, fox17.com/contest, for your chance to receive 2 tickets to either of the Nashville Predator playoff games, either Game 3 or Game 4, happening at Bridgestone Arena coming up on the 26th or the 28th.
Yeah.
Random selection messages do apply with the data rates and all that. For complete contest details, go to fox17.com/contest.
So hopefully the weather's going to hold up, because not just the Preds in town. Thursday night, we have Tim McGraw at Bridgestone. Friday, it's the Preds. Saturday, it's the St. Jude Marathon. Sunday, we got the Preds again. Just a few little events.
Saturday as well, got the Nashville Cats with their inaugural game.
Oh, the arena football.
At Municipal Auditorium.
Yeah, that's right. So just thumbs up.
All you got to know.
I love it, Greg.
For every single one of them, nothing will slow you down with the forecast. We'll focus specifically on the marathon times here, 7 to 10 a.m. on Saturday, 68 degrees, 74 at 10 a.m. I've taken rain out of the forecast, a little breezy, rain chance near 0. There will be some rain on Friday till about noon, and then that is it for the rest of the day. No rain Friday nights. If you're going downtown a little early or you just want to catch the game somewhere if you don't have tickets, you're good to go. Sunday, a pop-up shower. Do not let it scare you away. Every single thing we just named as far as plans, make them as they are and enjoy a very good weekend with temperatures in the 80s Friday through Sunday.
Steer clear traffic for you. Let's get you out and about on I-24 Waldron Road. This is coming through Rutherford County. Traffic is, I mean, it looks like this most days, though, coming down there. Right now, the drive time from downtown to St. Murfreesboro to downtown Nashville is about 85 minutes, close to an hour and a half. So you can make that drive out there. So please keep that in mind before you get on the roads. We're going to give you an update on other areas of town coming up in a few.
At 7:27, the former mayor of Millersville arrested overnight. The charges he's facing?
$9.99. Thousands off swim spas with hundreds in stock. Let's keep 'em.
You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
Now on Fox 17 News this Wednesday morning, remembering the life of rapper Chris King, how his loved ones are reacting in the search for the person responsible for his death.
Overnight rain leading to decreasing cloud cover right now, and I've got an increase in temperatures for the weekend coming up in just a couple of minutes.
Steer clear traffic leads us to I-24 Waldron Road. Slow go there, but there's another problem coming down from Robertson County. We'll get you there in a few.
Thank you so much for waking up with us here on a Wednesday morning. For Fox 17 News, I'm Erica Glover.
And I'm Jennifer Waddell. Glad to be here for you as your live local news source through 9 a.m.
Well, new this morning, we do want to bring you up to speed after a man is charged with arson after police say he set a fire inside of the Nashville rescue mission.
Yeah, this news just coming into the newsroom. It happened early yesterday morning, though, at the facility on Lafayette Street in Nashville. Police say Moncello Prince was upset that his belongings had been thrown away, so he went into a bathroom and set 2 trash cans on fire. Officers say Prince admitted to them that he threatened to burn the whole rescue mission down. Thankfully, the fires were contained. We're told more than 400 people, though, inside the building at the time. Prince is now being held on a $35,000 bond.
And now to Operation Crime and Justice. The man is behind bars this Wednesday morning after police say he shot his ex-girlfriend's new boyfriend. Yeah, Metro Police say Deontay Thompson, the man on your screen, out on probation when he broke into an apartment and then shot the victim in the foot.
All right, so police tell us that the 2 men were fighting over the gun before Thompson took off. He got booked on 10 outstanding warrants. He was already wanted and is now facing a new weapons charge.
We're going to Millersville this morning, and we have some more updates from Smoky Barn News because according to Millersville police, the mayor has now been arrested.
Tim Lassiter picked up at his home last night and is now charged with 2 counts of document fraud. Now, what that means specifically is something we're still working to find out. Mr. Lassiter stepped down as the mayor of Millersville in 2022. After 10 years in the position, it is the latest in a string of shakeups within Millersville. You may remember earlier this year we reported that the fire chief got fired, and then all but one of the firefighters on staff quit. So we'll get more updates on this story and keep you posted live through 9.
Well, friends of rapper Chris King, also known as Christopher Cheeks, are now mourning his loss after police say he was killed over the weekend in Nashville.
Fox 17 News reporter Karen Aguilar joining us live to tell us more about who this man was, his friends, their response, and what police have to say about the search for the killer.
Good morning. Chris's best friend, Maynard Asip, says that he's not just sad that his loved one passed, but he's also very angry. His body was found. Actually, he was found right here behind me on this parking garage on Hay Street, and then he was taken to a hospital where he later died. Police say the rapper was with a group of friends when 3 men tried to rob him and another friend on Saturday. They say after the confrontation, suspect Adrian Cameron, who was out on bond, shot and killed him. Chris was someone who was so dear to many, dozens of tributes pouring in after. ASIP says he is devastated by the loss of his mentor and best friend. He recalls getting the news.
It hit me like a curveball. I remember I first woke up, sat down on the couch. Then I opened my phone and there's hundreds of messages. Yo, I'm sorry for your loss. Chris is dead. Chris is dead. I was like, there's just no way. And then I go on Instagram and then it's everywhere.
He tells me that a way to honor Chris is to remember him, doing commemorations like this and allow his legacy to live on. He also tells me that he hopes justice is served since police say the suspect is still not in custody. Reporting live in Nashville, Karen Aguilar, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
7:34, checking in on your forecast. After some overnight rain and now some damp pavement, we're turning our corner into some sunshine and warmer times later on this afternoon. Here is Doppler radar, our last little pop-up showers that are dying down as we speak. We talked about 20 minutes ago that by 9 a.m. these are out of here. Nashville's done. Murfreesboro's done. Everyone west of I-65 gear up for a good day. Right side of your screen, we are 20 degrees warmer than we were 2 days ago at this time. Big 3 things to know getting today into tomorrow. We had the scattered morning showers that will be done as we wrap up here by 9 o'clock, and then clouds decrease this afternoon. A little bit of a breeze. Allergies are not going to be fun. We'll look at those in a moment. Keep that in mind. Have the allergy med situation going on today, tomorrow, and into the weekend. Late Thursday, next weather maker moves in. We're talking Thursday night into the first half of Friday, and then we're dry for most of the rest of the week. We're all clear for Code Red. Just tracking again some morning showers today and also on Friday. Those are your 2 time periods between now and the weekend. Everything else going to be dry. 76 degrees this afternoon, 75 tomorrow. 80s return on Friday, and we'll stay in the 80s all the way until Monday, and Monday will be our next chance for thunderstorms in our forecast.
Steering clear traffic, we have picked up a new problem to tell you about coming from the north side. This is going to be I-65 at Bethel Road coming down from Robertson County. We've got a real slowdown here because of a crash that we cannot see up in front of this as you come down towards Millersville. So heads up here. This is part of that backup. As a matter of fact, let me show you the full thing coming down from the White House community. Here's White House here, or Linda. Here's Ridgetop. If you use 65 in any way to get down, oh, yeah. It's like that right now. We're talking about an hour and 16 minutes right now to get down from Franklin, Kentucky, emphasize Kentucky, down into downtown Nashville. You want to try to use Highway 31 if you can. This could be your best bet to steer clear until they remove that crash there on I-65. Now, there are other things to show you and tell you about. We're going to get to those coming up here in a few.
That is quite the hold up. We're also taking a live.
GMC, we are professional grade. Visit Darrell Waltrip BuickGMC.com.
This Fox 17 This Morning newscast is sponsored by Eurostone.
All right now, Fox 17 News, we are following breaking news involving a very popular app on your phone. The Senate passing legislation that could lead to a potential ban of the popular video app TikTok. So right now we're going to take a look over at our Capitol. TikTok is owned by Chinese company ByteDance. Here we go. That's the live look. Well, the Chinese government giving potential access, some folks, our lawmakers say, to millions of Americans' data. The bill passing late last night would force TikTok to go ahead and find a new owner within months, or the U.S. will ban its use in our country. TikTok, though, has threatened to go to court if the president signs the bill, which is expected to be signed sometime later today.
Good morning, time right now, 7:40. Let's take a look outside, and ooh, it looks nice already. 2 hours ago, we were almost completely overcast. Now, that sun taking back over, right side of your screen, temperatures are already climbing. We're going to be in the 70s before we even hit lunchtime, and then we'll continue to stay in the 70s all afternoon long. Let's tee off and see how we look for the golf game later on today. Yeah, no matter what time your tee time is, Wind, everything else not going to get in your way. 61 degrees at 9 a.m., 71 at noon, 74 degrees at 3 o'clock. We do have increasing sun throughout the entire day. Maybe sports aren't your jam, but maybe you want to get outside, enjoy some sun, some comfortable temperatures, and take care of the garden a little bit. Doctor it up here. Taking a look. Again, 74 is that 3 p.m. temperature. We will stay in the 70s all the way throughout about 6 o'clock this evening. Not much to worry about. What I will tell you, though, is if you have a garden out there or any just plants in general, you are the one doing the watering. I know we had a little rain overnight, but we're not getting that much in terms of rainfall totals in the next 6 days. So daily watering, if you're not doing it, Mother Nature's not helping you out.
Still clear traffic gets out the door for you this morning on I-24 Waldron Road. This is making that drive down from Rutherford County. You can see for yourself things are still slow. Times are going to start to improve, though, over the next little bit. At one point, we were around an hour and 25 minutes coming in from Murfreesboro this morning. But we expect that time to lighten up. Coming up here in just a second. Where we're focusing a lot of our attention is on this crash. This is going to be I-65 coming south into town from Robertson County. So good morning out there, White House, Portland, or Linda, all of you, Cross Plains. This is part of your drive, and it's a slow one because of a crash that's happening down in Millersville. We don't have a shot of the crash, but we do have a shot of the backup, and that camera's not frozen. That's a moving camera, but the traffic is barely moving there. You can use Highway 31 to steer clear.
New developments now as the world's largest data management company, Oracle, will call Nashville not just a new home base, but home, like global home.
Like we're here, like we're taking off our shoes and setting up shop.
Staying for a while.
The Nashville Business Journal says that Oracle's co-founder was speaking at a summit in downtown Nashville and said that Nashville is going to be Oracle's, quote, world headquarters. The company has committed to spending more than $1 billion on a 70-acre piece of land on the East Bank campus, and that includes a pedestrian bridge that a lot of people were very excited about to get across the Cumberland River.
It would be just down from the Siegenthaler pedestrian bridge that's right there at Nissan Stadium. And by the way, if you're thinking, gosh, why does this sound familiar? You would be correct, because years ago was when we first told you that Oracle announced they were going to build this campus here in Nashville and relocate from Austin. This is more of a big announcement saying they're not just coming here, but they're going to make it their global headquarters. Wow. We will continue to monitor those updates as they come in.
Well, also coming up, we've got new information.
Stopping chefs, mixology magicians, and craft beer on a whole new level. Made for fine food fanatics, endless Epicurean adventures lead to full bellies and hearts. Plan your trip at charlottesgotalot.com.
This morning, we were getting some more updates about a road rage incident that left one man dead and another shot over in Murfreesboro. It was earlier this month.
Right, and so now this morning, Fox 17 News anchor Kelly Avellino joining us live with the details on what led up to that. Kelly, what triggered all this?
Well, Erica and Jen, an altercation escalated on South Rutherford Boulevard near Manchester Highway between a driver and several motorcyclists. 2 weeks ago, you could see the aftermath here behind me of those the accident and the byproduct there on the road. One of those bikers sadly was killed. It's still unclear what sparked the anger here, but I can tell you new court documents that I uncovered say that one of the bikers smashed his helmet on the front windshield of 39-year-old Joseph Gahn's car. This after friends of the motorcyclist reportedly said that Gahn was attempting to brake check them. I apologize, that does appear to be the wrong video there. The affidavit said that after the helmet was smashed on the window, Gahn then immediately opened fire, striking one of the bikers in the throat and hitting the other in the arm. Gahn then fleeing the scene. But he did call police about 30 minutes later, admitting to shooting both bikers, according to the court documents. Now, one of the victims did succumb to his injuries at the hospital, 49-year-old Paul Howell. There's a memorial service next month on May 25th for Howell, who was part of the Gray Wolves Riding Club. The suspect, Joseph Gahn, is now facing second-degree murder, attempted second-degree murder, and I can tell you as well, 1 count of reckless endangerment. He currently has a $1.5 million bond with his next court hearing on June 24th. I'm Kelly Avellino for Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Kelly Avellino, thank you so much for joining us and giving us that update. We do want to check in now for folks who are planning ahead for a very busy weekend, not just here in Nashville, but folks over in Franklin too. They got a Main Street Festival happening.
Nashville booked all week with all kinds of things. Franklin has their festival. You are right. What I would tell you is today is that day. Maybe if you use the weekend for the chores outside, get the chores done before the weekend and find one of these events. Also, if you have a four-legged friend, today is the day for it. Sookie's just laying there, staring at you. Heather, Mom, grab the leash. I want a treat. Let's go for a walk. We're using the trigger words because today is a great day to get outside. And this is your dog of the day here on this Wednesday morning. Dog walking forecast, get that leash going, and here we are. This is the temperature outlook we've got. 58 degrees at 8 o'clock, 61 degrees at 9, 65 at 10, and 69 degrees at 11. Warmest morning so far this week. And yes, there will be some wet pavement and possibly even some wet grass, especially in areas that are still a little shady here, just about an hour and a half past sunrise. But we're going to be okay all day long. You can always mail me your dog of the day. And I don't want physical mail pictures, please, no. I mean on the internet. Go to Facebook, meteorologist Greg Bobus, find that pinned post right there, and my virtual mail carrier will bring your dog right to me, and that's how you get your dog of the day right here on Fox 17 News this morning. Taking a look, future track. A few isolated showers here out toward the Cumberland Plateau. Those are out of here, and those are a thing of the past by 9 o'clock this morning. Afternoon sees abundant sunshine and rising temperatures. A little bit of a breeze, but not a windy day by any means. High temperatures will be in the 70s, and they continue to stay in the 70s one more day tomorrow. However, tomorrow we do bring in a few rain showers here after sunset, close to midnight. Here's midnight into Friday morning in the first half of Friday. We'll have some showers and maybe even a weak rumble of thunder. No severe weather in the cards for us here, but the rain lingers a little longer on Friday than it did today, so plan the first half of your Friday with some rain gear.
Steer clear traffic. Watching the situation coming down from I-65 at Bethel Road. This is in the Robertson County area. Traffic is moving, but we are experiencing lots and lots of slowdowns coming down there from that particular area of town. So heads up. Right now, the drive time, we are just getting an update on it, so I won't show you the old number, but the update now on that drive time is around 85 minutes, so close to an hour and a half coming down from Franklin, Kentucky into downtown Nashville. At this point, the problem is a crash up ahead of this in the Millersville area. You're going to try to take Highway 31. The best way to steer clear. It's going to impact all of you coming down from places like Cross Plains, Orlinda, Portland, White House, all of you there. And of course, Franklin, Kentucky, going to be impacted by that very slow drive.
Developing now, conservation groups are appealing water withdrawal permits issued to local utilities along the Duck River, and it's happening this week.
Yeah, this is a story we've been following for quite some time now. The Southern Environmental Law Center claims that 8 different utilities want to increase their daily water use from the Duck River by 19 million gallons to a total of 73 million gallons of water that would be pumped from the river every day. The State Department of Environment and Conservation approved 3 of those utilities' requests, but mind you, there are 8 asking for it. They do admit that, yes, there would be an increase in water consumption, but then there's this advocacy group that says doing that would put the health of the river and wildlife at risk.
Well, TDEC issued this response, writing, quote, TDEC has long recognized the high value of the Duck River and has been taking proactive measures to ensure its protection and its use is balanced between natural resource protection, wildlife conservation, outdoor recreation, and the needs of Tennesseans as communities continue to experience growth. They say as this is a pending legal matter, they have no further comment at this particular time.
This morning, we want to look ahead to tomorrow on Fox 17 News at 9 p.m. An issue that is putting all of our safety at risk, and that is the instance of putting violent criminals released on low or no bond back on the streets, and so many of them go right back out to the streets and commit the same or in some cases even worse crimes.
Yeah, one example is this man, Anton Rucker. He is a man with a long, violent criminal history out on bond in Rutherford County and is accused of opening fire inside of a busy Nashville restaurant in Salem Town on Easter Sunday. Ultimately, though, one person died in that gunfire. Experts say this is just one of many examples happening right here in Tennessee.
He was a felon. He was carrying a weapon. He had a long criminal history. Why are we letting him back out on the street? Because that's his job. His job is violence, addiction, chaos, and victimization. That's his job.
So coming up again tomorrow night at 9 o'clock, Dennis Ferrier will begin to paint the picture with example after example of how the system is failing public safety and families here in Middle Tennessee. It's our Fox 17 News investigation that begins Thursday at 9. And at 7:52, the first of its kind in the metro Nashville area, all with the hopes of saving babies. We're going to take you to Hendersonville in minutes, where later today leaders will open their first ever Safe Haven baby box.
And we also want to take
during the Customer Appreciation Sales Event at Matthews Nissan. Get 2.9% for 60 months on a new Pathfinder or Altima. Plus, get a lifetime warranty. MatthewsNissan.com.
7:55 right now, Operation Crime and Justice. We go to Mount Juliet, where new this morning from the Mount Juliet Police Twitter account, a traffic stop for a seatbelt violation. Simple traffic stop took an unexpected turn.
Yeah, police say during the stop, the officer noticed a 16-year-old driver was wearing a ski mask rolled on top of his head. So when he asked the driver to step out of the vehicle, the officer says he saw the teenager was armed with a handgun and an extended magazine.
That teenager arrested and placed in juvenile detention. The police department is now commending the officers for their dedication, their vigilance, and quick thinking. Because, you know, I think all of our minds go to the, oh my gosh, what was he planning to do with the ski
Where
mask
were you going?
And the guns? So yeah, all right, good update there from Mount Juliet.
We also have some more information and updates from across the state. The Tennessee Senate passing a bill that restricts vehicle booting. Senator Jack Johnson introducing the legislation. He also says it's going to protect vehicle owners from bad actors. Here's an example. Under the bill, to boot a car in a commercial parking lot, a licensed parking attendant must be present. They must be identified as an employee and then also available to remove the boot within 30 minutes of a driver's call.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so this legislation now heads to Governor Lee's desk and is set to take effect July 1st if he signs it. Hey, by the way, quick reminder, our legislative session is set to end tomorrow, and we will find out what, if any legislation the governor is about to sign off on.
Another quick reminder, Mother's Day is Sunday, May 12th, and we want to let you know you could win some extra money for mom by playing our Fox 17 News Mother's Day Mania contest.
Not yet, though. We're letting you know now so you're ready for Monday. Monday is when we will start giving away a daily $100 prepaid debit card. So all you'll do is watch Fox 17 News this morning. Okay, you can't find this at night. It's only on the morning show. You answer that day's trivia question correctly, and you could win that $100 daily prize plus be entered to win the $5,000 weekly drawing.
All right, if you want some more updates on this contest, go to fox17.com/contest. We have all the details. Right now, though, we want to get your forecast for you. Let you prepare for Wednesday.
Yeah, start gearing up for some good days ahead of you. 76 degrees later on this afternoon. The showers are coming to an end. 9 o'clock, we're done. Clouds decrease. We all work back into some sun. Many of us are already sunny. Those of you who have the rain showers that have been dying down recently, the sun will follow within about an hour or two after, all the way through sunset, just shy of 7:30 later on today. I mentioned a little while ago that today is a good day to get the grass cut. Also, tomorrow's a good one as well. Friday, first half of the day has some scattered rain. Not the easiest day, but Saturday and Sunday look so good that if you can get it done today or tomorrow and then just find some time to get outdoors and enjoy yourself, it's probably the best bet. Take a look at this weekend. Rain chances near zero, breezy and warm, nice mornings, afternoons. Low to middle 80s on Saturday and Sunday, and the morning temperatures even warmer than this morning. You'll wake up right around sunrise at 65 and 66 degrees. And if you want to track along when it comes to that rain the first half of Friday to kick off your day, get the kids to school, get out the door, you can always download the Fox 17 free Code Red weather app.
We have picked up a brand new crash to tell you about. This one's happening at I-24 at Baker Road. This is down in Rutherford County. We have got state troopers on the scene as well as a car sitting there in the median. This is going to cause a bit of a drag as you make your way both in and out of the Rutherford County area. So heads up on that. If you're making that drive in from Rutherford County this morning, Murfreesboro, places like that, Smyrna, this is going to be you trying to deal with this. The best way to steer clear is using Highway 41. We'll tell you about other areas of town coming up in a few.
Justin, thank you. Hey, in your community, we go to Hendersonville right now, and we want to look ahead to later today, where a special ceremony will unveil the first ever Safe Haven baby box in Sumner County. And they're saying this is the first in the metro Nashville area.
Wow, the event is going to take place today, this afternoon, 3 o'clock at the local fire station, again in Hendersonville. And Hendersonville, Jen, to your point, is going to be the 6th Safe Haven baby box location in our state.
Right, and this is a place where you can safely surrender a baby. Over the past few years, more than 40 babies have been surrendered to these boxes. Essentially, it's at that fire department. You're able to place the baby safely there. An alarm triggers inside. The first responders who are working on that particular shift are then able to take the baby and go through the proper steps to get it help and a new home.
You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
Now on Fox 17 News this Wednesday morning, suspects of violent crimes being allowed out on bond and then reoffending. And police say a rapper was killed in Nashville by a teenager who was out on bond for murder. Plus, a bill to arm teachers making its way to our governor's desk. Fox 17 News covering the heated debates at our Capitol. We're going to bring you the very latest details on all of these stories and much more. But first, do want to say thank you for joining us here on a busy Wednesday morning on Fox 17 News. I'm Erica Glover.
And I'm Jennifer Waddell. Your live local news source through 9 a.m. rolls on this hour with developing stories right now. We begin in Metro Nashville, where police have confirmed the body of a man found on I-24 near Old Hickory Boulevard and Briley Parkway is that of a man who was reported missing last week. Police say the man's name is Terrence Williams. This is his picture. Police tell us that his sister was on the phone talking with him last week when she said he abruptly hung up while he said he was walking to get help after his car broke down. Well, just yesterday, officers found his body down a hill on I-24. Like I said, this was between the Briley Parkway and Old Hickory Boulevard exits up near Madison and Jolton. Police confirmed that Williams' sister believes he might have been the victim of a hit and run. And the video we're looking at here is of what police believe to be Williams' car. And again, they also found his body down an embankment. That investigation continues this morning. We'll be sure to keep you updated on air and online.
Well, new this Wednesday morning, the bill allowing trained teachers to carry a firearm on campus. It did pass the House and the Senate. Now it's making its way to Governor Bill Lee's desk. Protests and rallies at the Capitol certainly heating up, though. Fox 17 News' Peyton Muse is going to share a live report coming up in about 10 minutes.
It's unacceptable. We are failing the public.
In Operation Crime and Justice, calls for change after a repeat offender out on bond for murder is now accused in another killing. Police say 19-year-old Adrian Cameron Jr. is one of 3 suspects in the shooting death of rapper Chris King. Cameron is still on the run. Officers believe that that group tried to rob King after he was leaving a Midtown recording studio over the weekend. By the way, Cameron had been wearing an ankle monitor while he was awaiting trial for a 2021 murder, and data from that monitor shows it got cut off right after Saturday's deadly shooting. We've learned the DA's office will revoke Cameron's bond once they find him.
Yeah, so you share those updates, and Jen, we now know that folks are really beloved friends, I should say, are mourning the loss of the musician, rapper Chris King, born Christopher Cheeks. Now they're looking for answers after police say he was killed over the weekend here in Nashville.
Right, so let's join right now Fox 17 News reporter Karen Aguilar, who is live to tell us more about the artist, what his friends are saying, and how police continue to search for the killer.
His best friend at Manor, Asip, tells me that he is still in shock after police say that they found Chris right here in the parking lot of Hay Street Hotel. They say that he was shot by suspect Adrian Cameron, was taken to the hospital where he later died. ASAP tells me that the best thing to do right now is to remember who he was. A passionate artist who would have wanted his legacy to live on. He was originally from California with connections to big names like Justin Bieber and Machine Gun Kelly. ASAP says Chris was in Nashville over the weekend to perform and to go to Canna Festival when he was shot and killed. ASAP was supposed to go with him but didn't. Police say the suspect was already out on bond when he committed the crime, leaving a void that will be very hard to fill for Maynor, and leaving him even with anger.
Definitely anger. Yeah. I mean, when it comes to something like that, I feel like we're not ready to process anything like that, like a death from a friend or a family member, and especially how it was taken. He didn't deserve to be shot. He didn't deserve anything like that.
Police say the suspect is not in custody. Reporting live in downtown, Karen Aguilar, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
And here we are at 8:05 looking at your ever-changing and ever-getting better forecast into the weekend. 2 days ago, we woke up, it was frosty outside, it was cold, we had winter coats, we had rain for the weekend in the forecast. Now, we're in the 50s to near 60. We're getting rid of our scattered morning showers. If it's not raining where you're at now, when you are west of 65 or north of I-40, you're in the all clear. We're really almost done. Taking a look, clouds decreasing this afternoon. Most of us are already sunny. Those of you who aren't, hold still for an hour or two and the sun will come back. Late Thursday, that was our next weather maker. That'll be the next time we have to track some more morning rain going into your Friday. However, with this one, it'll last a little bit longer. It's not going to be out of your early hours of Friday, likely not until lunchtime when the rain finally moves out. Taking a look at allergy levels, trees are through the roof. Well, not through the roof, I mean, but they're high. Taking a look here, they're in the severe category. Grass is high, and mold is in the moderate category. Allergies are not going to be great for us today. Even though we had a little bit of that rain out there, it's not done much to get most of that pollen out of the atmosphere. 76 degrees later on this afternoon, 75 tomorrow. Ooh, next time we talk here for your Code Red forecast, we're going to look at the weekend, many events. We're going to talk Franklin. Saturday and Sunday, big downtown event. We're going to talk about the Rock and Roll Marathon, and also we're going to talk about the Preds' first playoff home game on Friday.
Steer clear traffic takes us out to I-24 at Baker Road. You make that drive in from the Rutherford County area. This is going to be 24 going westbound. So coming into town, you can see where we have got authorities on the scene dealing with a car that's crashed in the median there, causing some minor delays in both directions there. You can take Highway 41 as the best way to steer clear. Still dealing with that slow go from 65 at Bethel Road on the north side. We're going to tell you the best way to deal with this coming up in a few.
Well, the Tennessee House took on the issue of something called abortion trafficking. We're going to talk about the moments when frustration boiled over for one lawmaker who didn't think she was being taken seriously.
And still to come on Fox 17 News this morning here in our 8 o'clock hour. After months of heated debate,
Sunshine are here for a limited time. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Receive tornado alerts. Download the Fox 17 News Code Red weather app.
Welcome back to Fox 17 News this morning. So the Tennessee House of Representatives made a move where they're trying to deal with something they're calling abortion trafficking. This is where one person would drive someone who is pregnant to another state to have an abortion. The state of Tennessee wants to make it so, or at least some members of the House and Senate do, that only parents can drive a pregnant teenager to another state for an abortion. Now, this caused a lot of debate out there on the Tennessee House floor. Some people felt like they weren't being heard. That would include Representative Afton Bain of Nashville. She stood up, and when she felt like people were not listening to her, or at least taking her seriously, it led to a moment like this.
This bill is a direct attack on me, on my family, on my friends, on my network that support Tennesseans who are pregnant and vulnerable minors that need access to care, to go across state lines and receive the necessary care. Is this a joke? Is this funny to you? Seriously. It's not funny. And every time you've presented this bill, you've been smug, and I don't appreciate it.
Leader Lamberth asked me if I wanted some water that he had previously drank out of, and I laughed and I said no. So that was the reason. It was not a smugness representative, so my sincere apologies.
Representative Zachary says it was just a misunderstanding. That's all. It did go ahead and pass, by the way, the Tennessee House. The Democrats did propose a lot of amendments to that bill, but none of them were able to pass. Also in politics, there is a bill to ban certain flags from Tennessee classrooms. Well, it did not pass. It died in the Tennessee Senate. Now, that bill would only allow the state flag and the U.S. flag to be displayed in public school classrooms. Critics say that this particular bill targeted the pride flag, that rainbow flag that you may have seen around. It also allowed several other exceptions, and they believe this whole thing would have been a violation of the First Amendment. Others argued that there needs to be a limit on exactly what can and cannot be hung in a classroom. If it did pass, all public schools as well as teachers would have had to comply with this, but it failed 13-6 in a Senate committee.
And coming up in the Code Red forecast, hey, take a look. We're looking nice outside now. All the cloud cover is breaking up in the Nashville area. We'll look ahead to the next rain chance before the weekend arrives.
Also testing the lights there in Nissan Stadium. This is I-24 Baker Road. We had a fairly serious crash here a short time ago. Looks like they've gotten that cleared out of the way. We'll give you the rest of your steer clear traffic. Plus the move to allow teachers to have guns on campus. It's a big...
Could happen.
Welcome back to Fox 17 News this morning. Time right now is 8:15. A bill allowing school staff members to voluntarily carry a gun on campus makes its way to Governor Bill Lee's desk.
Fox 17 News' Peyton Muse is joining us live this Wednesday morning right outside of the Capitol with some reaction. Good morning, Peyton.
Good morning. Now, a heated debate happened right here on the Capitol floor between lawmakers. Now, emotions ran extremely high with nearly 3/4 of lawmakers moving to make this law.
A parent of 2 students who survived the 1999 Columbine High School massacre, Ted Zacco Hochhalter, sits down with Fox 17 News over Zoom. This comes a year after the Covenant School mass shooting and 25 years since Columbine.
My daughter was outside eating lunch when she was shot, and that she was shot critically wounded and paralyzed from the waist down as a result.
His son hiding in his science classroom for hours, thankfully left unharmed physically. Ted retired from emergency management and now advocates for safer schools. He says arming school staff is a knee-jerk reaction.
I'm not anti-gun, but I just don't see the benefit of adding more schools into, or more guns, into a what can be very chaotic situation.
Under Tennessee's plan, the director of schools and police would know who's carrying on campus. Each person would have to undergo 40 hours of training and a mental evaluation. Supporters say it's an added layer of protection.
To be able to carry a concealed weapon with the idea of protecting those students who may be trapped, as well as creating what currently does not exist in Tennessee, and that is a deterrent as it relates to our schools.
Now, this bill sits on Governor Bill Lee's desk, and for more information on this bill, head over to our website at fox17.com. Reporting live at the Capitol, Peyton Muse, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Peyton, thank you. In Operation Crime and Justice, state lawmakers are opening the door to amend a part of the state constitution that's been on the books since 1796. That's the year our state was founded.
So here's what it would do. It would give Tennessee judges more discretion of their own as to whether to keep people accused of serious crimes in jail until trial. Those offenses would include second-degree murder, child rape, and terrorism. Now, as it stands right now, judges in our state can only deny bail in a capital murder case. But as we've been reporting, this increase in the number of people who have been charged with serious crimes, who are let out and then recommit before they even go to trial, has really spurred on more discussion. So we do know that this passed the resolution yesterday after spirited debate. Let's listen.
if it was the answer, that provision would not have remained intact since 1796.
You know who doesn't become a repeat offender? The one that stays in prison. Those people can't reoffend.
Keep in mind the state Senate passed the bill as well. Amending the Constitution, though, requires the next legislature to pass the resolution as well. If that then happens, it would go on the ballot for a public vote in 2026, where ultimately voters would have the final say.
At 8:18, taking a look here. This is your all the things around town forecast going into the weekend. Preds split with the Canucks yesterday, coming back home, and now they're going to be taking the ice at 6:30 on Friday. What is the forecast? Well, when puck drops, it's going to be 79 degrees outside. So if you want to get to downtown a little bit early, maybe enjoy the late afternoon toward the evening, it'll be mostly sunny. Afternoon highs will be in the low 80s, and as we're leaving Bridgestone, hopefully with another W under the belt, we'll have temperatures that will still be in the upper 60s and low 70s. So a great evening for your Friday. And then very early the next morning, we have the St. Jude Rock and Roll Marathon. 68 degrees at 7 o'clock in the morning, 74 at 10 a.m. A mild morning and a little breezy. Rain chance now is nearly zero on the forecast, not just for your Saturday, but Sunday even rain chances have gone down quite a bit. So whether you're running or just supporting someone you know who's going to be out there, don't worry about new rain gear. Let's also talk about maybe you want to have something a little more low speed. Quite literally. The Main Street Festival in Franklin, the 27th and 28th, 2 warm days. Breezier on Saturday than on Sunday, but as I mentioned, mainly dry. Highs both of those days are going to be in the low to possibly even middle 80s if we get enough sunshine. Forecast overall is very nice. You could track some rainfall, though, Thursday night into Friday. We'll get a new look at the timeline on that coming up and also break down a very warm 7-day forecast as we go into the next check before we even get to 8:30.
Steer clear traffic for you. Let's get you out to I-65 at Bethel Road. This is down from Robertson County. We're still dealing with that problem because of a crash in the Millersville area that is backing traffic all the way up here for several miles and causing a big slow commute for anybody coming down from the north side. So let's get a look at your drive times across the midstate right now. We're talking about 84 minutes in from Franklin, Kentucky right now. The Kentucky state line into downtown Nashville, nearly an hour and a half. Murfreesboro at 67 minutes, much better than what we saw earlier this morning. Franklin, that time starting to tick up, 41 minutes in from 65 in Williamson County.
Just ahead, we're going to share the latest from the Supreme Court of the United States right here concerning abortion bans.
The Preds with another win last night.
Hancock Diamonds, Goodlettsville, or HancockDiamonds.com.
Right now, Fox 17 News, we are watching out for breaking news updates from the U.S. Supreme Court. That's because they're expected to go ahead and consider when doctors can perform emergency abortions in states where the procedure is banned, and Tennessee is one of those states. Here's a live look. Justices will take up a case from Idaho which bans abortions in all stages of pregnancy with restricted exceptions. A federal health care law says hospitals should be allowed to terminate a pregnancy when there are cases of emergencies. Idaho says that law is meant to ensure that patients are not sent away based on their ability to pay. This case marks the first time the Supreme Court will consider a state abortion ban since reversing Roe v. Wade. That was back in 2022.
All right, let's get to sports news this morning. The Nashville Predators got a much-needed win. Congratulations, guys. Big win. Jen's digging around for the fang fingers.
We got the flag.
Or got flags. We got all kinds of things.
We got all the stuff. Yeah, we got all the stuff.
They came off the huge win and were able to beat the Vancouver Canucks in Game 2 of the NHL Stanley Cup playoffs last night there.
You just got to keep it on standby.
In Vancouver,
you know what I mean?
Yes. Well, we'll know now. We'll have a Game 5 at least now.
That's true. Hey, listen, let's take a look at the highlights from last night. Philip Forsberg, they call him Scoresberg.
Yeah.
He's going to make it 2-0 Preds, and a rebound from Colton Sissons is going to make it 3-0. Now, the Canucks did get a goal in toward the end, but the Preds get the win 4-1.
Now, big note in this particular game, and that is the Predators were able to take advantage of the misfortune of the Vancouver Canucks, who lost their starting goaltender just hours before the game started. He is now day-to-day, game-to-game. They don't know if he's going to play in Game 3 or not. We do know Game 3 is going to be back here in Nashville coming up Friday night, then Game 4 on Sunday afternoon.
All right, so go Preds, stand with us. Isn't that the slogan right now for the playoffs?
I think so.
Here's your chance to cheer for the Preds live and in person. Fox 17 is going to give you tickets to go see them in action. Scan the QR code that's on your screen right now. You get the chance to get 2 tickets, either to the playoff game number 3, which we mentioned is Friday, or game 4, which is Sunday. There are message and data rates that may apply, but we would encourage you, open up your smartphone, hold the camera at that code. It'll give you a link. You click that link, you're good to go. Good luck.
We like it. We love it. We want some more of it.
There you go.
Here's Greg Bobus.
That we do in the forecast, like I mentioned, is great getting down to Bridgestone. One thing you won't see there is me on the ice, and thank goodness for that, because no one needs that. We're trying to win a game here. Taking a look at the forecast, we're winning that across the board. 76 later on today, 75 tomorrow. Lower to middle 80s Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. The next chance for thunderstorms across the board, not until Monday. Might get a clap of thunder early in the morning on Friday. Don't worry about it, though. Mainly just scattered rain showers that'll move in overnight Thursday into Friday and exit here right around lunchtime, drying us out for a good majority of the upcoming weekend.
Steer clear traffic at 827. Quick look here at I-65 at Bethel Road. This is coming down from Robertson County this morning. We've got a slow go because of a crash happening in Millersville that we can't quite see on camera, but we can definitely see the slowdown. You want to take Highway 31. That's the best way to steer clear if you're coming down from White House, Portland, or Linda, and the like.
We have a former mid-state mayor who's been arrested overnight. The charges he's facing after a long list of issues in the leadership there in that town.
Thanks for watching Fox 17 News this morning. We're your only live and local news source with you with your traffic and weather updates from 4 until...
QR code to enter and win. For complete contest rules, go to fox17.com.
Judges gambling with your safety. Fox 17 News investigates Thursday at 9.
You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
Now on Fox 17 News this Wednesday morning, remembering the life of rapper Chris King, we're going to share how his loved ones are reacting during the search for the person responsible for his death.
And here we go, starting off with some sunshine to kick us into the rest of this morning and into the afternoon. High temperatures in the 70s. We'll look ahead to a streak of 80s and 2 chances for rain that'll lead us into next week.
Things moving a lot better on I-65 at Bethel Road. We'll give you an updated drive time.
Thank you so much for joining us here on Fox 17 News this Wednesday morning. I'm Erica Glover.
I'm Jennifer Waddell. We are your live and local news source through 9 a.m. 30 minutes to go. Let's get you updated on your top stories here for your Wednesday morning. We begin in Millersville in Operation Crime and Justice. Actually, not in Millersville. We're going to start in Metro Nashville, where this man is now behind bars after police say he shot his ex-girlfriend's new boyfriend.
Yeah, Metro Police say Deontay Thompson, the man on your screen, was out on probation when he broke into an apartment and shot the victim in the foot. Well, they say the 2 men, they fought over the gun before Thompson just took off.
So Thompson booked on 10 outstanding warrants. He was already wanted and is now facing new charges. Now we go to Millersville for a story making headlines here this morning. New from Smoky Bar News. According to Millersville Police, the former mayor Tim Lassiter has been arrested.
Well, police say Lassiter was picked up at his home just last night. He is now charged with 2 counts of document fraud. But Jen, you've been saying that we were asking questions. What is document fraud? Give us the specifics of this.
Right. And as soon as we find out, we'll be sure to let you know. Lassiter, you'll want to know, also did step down from his role in Millersville in 2022 after 10 years in that position. After that, just even in the last few months, we have seen the fire chief get fired. All but one of the fire department quit as a result of that. So a lot kind of boiling up there in Millersville.
You got to wonder how it's impacting their community too.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, friends and loved ones this morning are remembering rapper Chris King, born Christopher Cheeks, that's a name that he goes by, after police say that he was killed over the weekend in Nashville.
Fox 17 News reporter Karen Aguilar tells us more about the artist, what his friends have to say, and the latest on the police investigation.
His best friend, Maynard Asib, tells me that he's not just sad by the loss of Chris, but he's mad that he was shot and killed. Police say that he was found in the parking garage of this hotel and taken to a hospital where he later died. Police say the rapper was with a group of friends when 3 men tried to rob him and another friend on Saturday. They say after the confrontation, suspect Adrian Cameron, who was out on bond, shot and killed him. He was someone who was so dear to many. Dozens of tributes pouring in after for Chris King. Asip says he is devastated by the loss of his mentor and best friend. He recalls getting the news.
It hit me like a curveball. I remember I first woke up, sat down on the couch. Then I opened my phone and there's hundreds of messages. Yo, I'm sorry for your loss. Chris is dead. Chris is dead. I was like, there's just no way. And then I go on Instagram, and then it's everywhere.
He asks that we continue to remember Chris and hopes that he can get justice for his friend, since police say the suspect is still not in custody. Reporting in Nashville, Karen Aguilar, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
8:34, we're checking in on one thing that's not going away, even though we had a little rain overnight, and that is the pollen count. Yeah, that has not gone down at all when it comes to trees. It's still in the severe category. Grass is still high, and mold is the one thing that's been a touch lower over the past few days, but not noticeably. If these are your allergens that really give you the sniffles, the sneezes, and the red eyes throughout the day, make sure you're using your allergy meds if you're going to be outside for quite some time, because a little breeze will keep kicking everything up. Not just today, but into the weekend, even Saturday into Sunday, as temperatures will be climbing. Unfortunately, when you want to get outside, so will the pollen counts. Taking a look, temperatures already sneaking above the 60-degree mark for a few of us. Comfortable 62 right now in Nashville, 63 in Columbia, upper 50s to low 60s for all of us. Let's aim for 76 degrees later on this afternoon, and a good day for a patio for lunch if that is a possibility for you, or maybe you get your lunch break for a little bit. Want to just head outside and go for a walk, go for it. 69 at 11, 71 at noon, 73 degrees at 1 p.m. Whatever cloud cover is left out there for you, that'll be gone pretty quickly going into the late morning and early afternoon hours. And there will be that high of 76, 75 tomorrow, low 80s into the weekend. We'll time out that 40% chance of rain on your Friday. It's not a washout. We'll break it down hour by hour. And the next, look at your coded forecast.
Steer clear traffic takes us out to I-65 and I-24 as you make that drive in from the north side. It is bumper to bumper just about coming down from Madison, Hendersonville, Goodlettsville. It's about like it is each and every morning here at this particular location. You can try to take Ellington Parkway to steer clear of this. Let's take you up to the north side of town. This is going to be I-65 at Bethel Road. We had a crash here that had traffic at a crawl coming through Robertson County. It looks like it has cleared up. It just hasn't shown it so far on our maps. We're seeing a lot more yellow than red here. 80 minutes on the drive. At one point, it was up to 85 minutes there, coming from the Kentucky state line all the way down into downtown Nashville.
Okay, Justin, thank you. New this Wednesday morning, we are learning more about a case involving a man charged with arson after police say he set a fire inside of the Nashville rescue mission that was packed at the time.
Yeah, I mean, praise God this did not get any worse, because when you hear the details, you'll understand how serious the situation turned out to be. So it happened early yesterday morning at the center on Lafayette Street. We understand, according to police, that Moncello Prince was mad that his belongings had been thrown away. And so police say he went into the bathroom and set 2 trash cans on fire. Officers say Prince admitted to them that he threatened to burn down the whole rescue mission. We are told there were more than 400 people in the rescue mission at the time of these fires, and thank goodness they got them out quickly and no more damage was done. We do understand that Mr. Prince is currently being held on a, let's see, what's the bond here, $35,000 bond.
Coming up on Fox 17 News, well, we just want to take a moment and say thank you for waking up with us here every single morning. We're your only locals
at Carrier and Roscoe Brown.
Roscoe Brown. RoscoeBrown.com.
This Fox 17 This Morning newscast is sponsored by Pool and Spa Depot.
8:40. 8:40 is the time. We've got new developments to tell you about the world's largest data software company. We're talking about Oracle, and the fact that it's not just building a base here in Nashville, it's building a home, a permanent home.
Yeah, like put down roots, a place
Yeah.
to hang your hat.
Yeah.
Oracle's chairman and co-founder said just yesterday at a healthcare industry summit being held in downtown Nashville that Nashville will in fact be Oracle's, quote, world headquarters. Now,
Wow.
it's interesting because we've known for years that Oracle was coming to Nashville. I mean, I
Yes,
think
yes.
three years or so is when we first started reporting that they were bringing more than $1 billion here. They were going to build on this 70-acre spot right along the Cumberland River,
Absolutely.
just down from Nissan Stadium. So we knew they were coming. It's just that yesterday, the co-founder admitted it was a little bit of a slip-up when he said it.
Yeah, it's a little
but he
bit more
did.
than just a base or a brand new building. They're moving here.
Talking jobs.
Big time jobs. They say
Yeah.
the move to Music City is part of Oracle's shift towards healthcare software. And of course, Nashville is big into that. HCA is already here and a number of other healthcare companies.
8:41, taking a look at your forecast. No rain for the rest of today once the raindrops stop here. For those of us who have a few light sprinkles that are still remaining in the plateau, you're good for the rest of the afternoon. Sunshine's taken over for most of us already. It continues to take over for the rest. Enjoy a good day in the 70s later on this afternoon. Tomorrow morning, you wake up in the 50s and 60s again. Afternoon brings in some clouds. Here's 4 p.m. for your Thursday. 4 o'clock goes through midnight, and a few showers, especially west of I-65, the first half of the overnight, then going into the rest of the overnight and the first half of Friday, the chance for a few scattered rain showers, not washing it out. But I will tell you right now, my curious question might have you very curious, and you might disagree with the actual answer. What does the word spam stand for? Okay, what is an abbreviation for? Simple ham, spiced ham, sliced ham, or special ham? We'll have the answer for you coming up when I see you for the forecast.
Isn't spam just the mail you don't want that ends up in your email?
That's that too.
Like what is all of that?
That too.
Let's take a look at your steer clear traffic. That's I-65 and Highway 31 down in Millersville. We are finally getting a glimpse at that crash that has caused us so much backup a little bit earlier. Now we're just seeing it on the shoulder of the road. Not near as many problems as it once was causing. This thing must have been blocking lanes at one point because the traffic was at a standstill. Doing a lot better though, coming down from the north side now. As you can take Highway 31 if you don't like the traffic there. Here's 65 at Armory Drive, looking a little better there. We'll continue to watch things.
We're following breaking news out of Clarksville, where police say 2 men are now behind bars in connection with a double homicide that happened earlier this month. Police say Tristan Riley and Tyson Mullins are charged with the murders of Savannah Lumpkin and Glenn Nicholson. This happened back on April 8th. Their bodies were found in a home on Martin Street. Police say Riley was arrested April 12th over in Chicago, but his arrest was not announced until Mullins was taken into custody yesterday. Police say they kept it private to protect the investigation. Clarksville police say this is still an active investigation, though, and more arrests are.
Get up to $1,500 customer cash on a new 24 Tundra. APR financing as low as 2.25% or a great low lease.
Toyota, let's go places.
8:45, and let's meet our dog of the day and get a little extra help here on our forecast. Get an extra 4-paw salute. Oh, hey, Sookie, how you doing this morning? You're still laying upside down? Ears? I love the ears, by the way, Sookie. You should get an extra treat and an extra walk-in later today because today's fantastic. Maybe a morning walk and an afternoon walk. I think you might want to go. I'm just saying. Heather. Thank you for the picture, and this is a great day for one of those dog walks. Taking a look here, 61 degrees at 9 o'clock, 69 at 11, already up to 70. By the time we hit noon, a little bit of a breeze and ever-increasing sunshine. Most of us are already sunny. If you're not, the sun's coming your way. Send me your dogs of the day through my mail carrier. All you got to do is go to Facebook, meteorologist Greg Bobus, find that pinned post at the top. You can share your photos. So, what does the word spam stand for? And this is a real answer here. Now you're going to go, as a kid, I heard all these different acronyms for it. Well, it's spice or spiced ham. If you go back to the 1930s, Hormel, which still owns Spam, had a product called spiced ham. And they abbreviated it, and that is according to the USDA. So they're the ones who are saying that is the official meaning of the word spam. You may not agree, but facts are facts. Taking a look here, 5 o'clock for after school sports, 73 degrees, 69 at 7 p.m. and 61 at 9 o'clock. Really good forecast this evening. Really nice tomorrow evening as well. The rain chance for Friday will be just the first 4 or 5 hours of the day, and then mostly cloudy and 80s for Saturday and the majority of Sunday.
Steer clear traffic this morning. Let's take you over to the north side. This is going to be 65 at Highway 31 in Millersville. We are dealing with the crash there on the shoulder. Authorities are still there on the scene dealing with that. You can see them working away there. The best way to steer clear is using Highway 31 itself. This was causing a backup earlier that went for miles all the way back up towards White House. Glad to see things are getting a little bit better here. Here's 24 Hickory Hollow Parkway, making your way through Antioch, looking a lot better than what we saw earlier this morning.
Right now, we are learning more about the road rage incident that left one man dead and another shot over in Murfreesboro. It happened earlier this month.
Fox 17 News anchor Kelly Avellino has been digging into the story. She's got some brand new details, especially about what led up to all of this. Kelly, what triggered it?
Well, Erica and Jen, an altercation escalated on South Rutherford Boulevard near Manchester Highway between a driver and several motorcyclists 2 weekends ago. Now, you could see the aftermath here in this picture of that accident, that altercation. One of the bikers was killed. It is still unclear what sparked the anger, but new court records say one of the bikers smashed his helmet on the front windshield of 39-year-old Joseph Gahn's car. This after friends of those bikers reportedly said that Gahn was attempting to brake check them. The affidavit says, though, that after that incident, a helmet was smashed again on the window, and then Gahn immediately opened fire, striking one biker in the throat and hitting another in the arm. Gahn then fled the scene, but called police about 30 minutes later, admitting to shooting both bikers, according to court documents. One of those victims did succumb to his injuries at the hospital, 49-year-old Paul Howell. There is a memorial service next month on May 20th for him. He was part of the Gray Wolves Riding Club. The suspect, Joseph Gahn, is now facing second-degree murder, attempted second-degree murder, and 1 count of reckless endangerment. He currently has a $1.5 million bond with his next court hearing on June 24th. I'm Kelly Avellino for Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
All right, Kelly, thank you. Developing now, conservation groups are appealing water withdrawal permits issued to local utilities along the Duck River. That's happening this week.
Right, so here's what's at issue. The Southern Environmental Law Center says that 8 different utilities want to increase their daily water pull from the river by 19 million gallons extra. That would be a total of 73 million gallons of water that would be pumped out of the river every day. That's why we've got this appeal right now. The State Department of Environment and Conservation did approve 3 of those requests, 3 of the 8. The group says that huge increase in water consumption would threaten the health of the river and put wildlife at risk.
Well, TDEC issued a response writing, quote, TDEC has long recognized the high value of the Duck River and has been taking proactive measures to ensure its protection and its use is balanced between natural resource protection, wildlife conservation, outdoor recreation, and the needs of Tennesseans as communities continue to experience growth. They also say, as this is a pending legal matter, they have no further comment at this point.
8:50 is the time right now. Protesters lying on the floor of the state capitol after lawmakers pass a bill that would allow teachers to carry in the classroom. We're going to take another look at the hot debate happening in the name of school safety.
$239 a month. Cars, SUVs, trucks, vans are all in stock. Drive KBB.com's best value brand now with payments from $239 a month. Search your local Honda dealer today.
Crisis in the classroom. A bill that would allow Tennessee teachers to go armed at school is now on its way to Governor Lee's desk.
It's a controversial vote that triggered really a lot of demonstrations and chaos at the Capitol both before and after.
And long and ongoing debate here over firearms and school safety, especially after the Covenant school shooting in Nashville. Yesterday's House session started with people holding signs in the gallery, turned into shouting in opposition. One officer escorted people out of the gallery as people continued to protest in the outside house floor area.
Now, there are folks that believe this bill will make teachers and students safer, especially in more rural areas where several schools do not have the school resource officers. Governor Bill Lee still needs to approve and sign off on the bill for it to take effect.
Developing now, Metro Nashville police say the body of a man found along I-24 yesterday is a man who had been reported missing by his sister last week.
Wow, police say the man's name is Terrence Williams. They say his sister was talking on the phone with him last week when he abruptly, according to the sister, hung up while he was walking to get help after his car broke down. Officers, though, found his body yesterday on I-24 near Bradley Parkway. Police say Williams' sister believes that he could have been the victim of a hit and run, so this investigation is ongoing.
And 8:55 right now, we're going to get a live look from Nashville, and Greg's going to join us for a final look at your forecast.
Okay, so today, really great day. Started off, we had the rain if you were up really early. Don't worry about any of that. We're talking sun and 70s later on today. We'll be up to 76 degrees. That's working toward the weekend. Your Thursday during the daylight hours is perfect. Overnight into Friday morning, though, we do have the chance to work into a couple of showers here. They could take it to right around lunchtime or so, and then that will die down and work us into the upcoming weekend. Lots happening. We have the Preds taking the ice on the evening, I should say 6:30 in the evening on Friday. No problems downtown. If you want to get there early or stay late, you're good. Downtown Franklin on Main Street, we have an event on Saturday and Sunday. Both days look fantastic. And then we also have the St. Jude Rock and Roll Marathon Saturday morning. You're going to wake up in the 60s, and by about noon, close to 80. But I've taken the rain out of the forecast for anyone running or going.
A cool product. Right now, we're offering 38% off the Counto scale. Head over to asadeals.com for this exclusive offer.
Sponsored by the Big 98, Nashville's #1 for new country and the home of a Bobby Bones show.
Your new album, which is also available on DVD, Statler Made. I gotta tell you, I think this is the best stuff you guys have done.
Great. Well, thank you so much. And we do too, to be honest with you.
Well, and I think also, I gotta tell you, the charts do too.
Yes.
Because you guys have done well on Billboard and so many of the charts. I mean, just going out there, and I mean, it just came out in February. And wow.
The cool thing about this, and our producers, Johnny Minnick and Michael Sykes, are so instrumental, pun intended, I guess.
Right, pun intended.
In this project. They're great to work with, and the freedom that they gave us to bring who we are to this project.
Right.
To be honest with you, this CD it's very representative of us musically and our shows.
Right.
We do, we love classic country, traditional country.
Totally.
I mean, we've been doing George Jones and Johnny Cash in our shows for years. Of course, we've been doing Statler Brothers music. Got to do that. We always tribute them and tip our hats to them in our shows.